welcome everybody to RWB Racing's presenting the ESGT 2 hour of Lago Maggiore. I've got Nick Heathfield from, I forget where you're from, Nick. Where are you
England.
from, man?
England.
England. There you go. I'm just an uncultured American swine. I don't know the accents from where all the people live over there in that part of the world. So good to have you, my friend.
Thanks. How's it going, Chris?
It's going okay. So it looks like they are just in warm up right now, right? They haven't started qualifying. It's going to
That's
begin.
right. Yeah, we're looking at another stuck check, of course, which is done in order to make sure the cars are able to start the race properly, and then after that, there will be qualifying by class. So you can see, we're looking at some GT cars, and
Yep.
there's also some high performance Group 1 cars, which are a combination of Le Mans prototypes and Vision GT cars. Uh, it's certainly the wackier class. So ESGT is a kind of primarily it's basically a GT Sport racing league. At least for the time being, it's just GT Sport. It's been going for about a year and a half. There's So far there's been a sort of a main series and some side series. So the main one tends to be GT3 or GT4, and there have been recent forays into endurance racing. Now, there was a sort of VES or Virtual Endurance series some time ago. It was cancelled part way through, as in I think there were only 3 races that were done because at the time it was kind of an overextension. There were some problems with that. It was difficult to get through. Now, this is a test event, so if there are problems with the format, it's similar to last time, with one driver doing the first stage, if you like, and then another driver taking over with time gaps for the second stage. Formerly, there was also a mechanic for sort of safety cars, and cars would have damage, but this is no longer the case. It was too complicated, and it felt too arbitrary. It was meant to seem authentic. It was meant to come across as building up the sensation of an actual endurance event, but it didn't quite pan out the way that was hoped. So this is a slightly simpler format. We'll see how it goes in this test event.
Yep. I think it's going to be fun. We had the multi-class race with the GR4s and the GR1s a couple of weeks ago, and it's pretty exciting. I think there's going to be a lot less lapping of cars with Group 3 cars on the track than with the Group 4 cars.
Yeah, yeah. Do you mean that the thing with the Audis?
Yeah, the Audi Summer Series that they
Yeah,
did
I
a
was I
couple
was
weeks
driving
ago.
in that.
How'd you like
It
that?
was
That
like,
seemed like it was a lot of fun to be in.
well, yeah, it was good. I mean, it was like the first or second race that I'd ever seriously done while using a wheel. So it was good practice for me, but I'm afraid that the best I could really do was, not embarrassing myself too much as the LMP cars went flying past.
It was pretty interesting commentating that race because I had to keep track of 2 different races going on at the same time, and it would be a lot
Hmm.
easier with the second person keeping an eye on the other class. So it's nice to have you around, so someone can be keeping an eye on other places on the track, um, and other battles going on. So that'll be good. I don't see all of the drivers in the lobby. I'm going through here. Okay, so I see there's the 2 RWB drivers still in the pits, driving the Beetle and the what is that car? That's the oh yeah, the Toyota hybrid, yeah, the TSO 50. That's a good car. Let's see. What do we? Let's run down the order here. So VLX Chris, he's driving the Audi Vision GT car.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's a popular one. There's 2 of those.
Yep, and then the Mba 01 is driving not a Corvette. He's driving the R18, the Audi.
Yeah, that's right, for Renegade Team.
Yep. In
Um,
third is Jack Mia. He's driving
yep.
also driving Toyota.
Got M101 Side Max.
Yep. And then we also have ERS Av Valerian. I don't. I'm gonna have to find a faster way to say that thing there.
I tend to say it as Avalarion, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Valerian, and he's driving the Tomahawk, so that'll be fun. I
yeah,
think is that the only one I've seen
who's
out there?
put that ridiculous VW hippie bus in the pits? That's it's going okay.
Oh, it
We're
looks like we're
starting the
getting a
race.
stuck check here.
Yes,
This,
but dude seems to be driving a VW camping van,
yes, something
or
is amiss,
mind expanding mobile as it's known.
dude. That's funny. That's good stuff. Let's see what he's got under the hood of that thing.
It's also got extreme negative rake. Okay, so this is a stuck check. We're
I sure
really
hope it
only
is,
looking.
because it's going to be a restart nonetheless.
Yeah, we're just making sure that everyone gets off the grid nicely.
Here go the lights.
Oh,
Oh,
there's a car stuck.
oh, holy crap! The Corvette just plows in
Oh
that
man,
GR1.
Embar, and also Flynn seems to be. No, is it Flynn? No, it's Bill.
It's Bill Bader and
Bill and Embar.
Emba, and yeah, they're all bouncing out.
But
Stuck.
Bill stopped, but then he seemed to be driving after that. But okay, it's Chris who got stuck. All right. Okay, it looks like there's going to be another stuck check just to
It
see if there's any
does.
possibility of those guys getting back into shape.
You know, while they're doing that, let's let all the viewers out there know what the heck this race is all about. So it's going to be 40 laps with
Hmm.
some Group 3 cars and Group 1 cars, multi-class. When this one's over, they're going to document the time gaps in the finishing
Hmm.
order, and
Yep.
then we're going to go to another lobby where we will have the
Right. Yes.
second set of drivers, all in the same liveries, same cars. It's just going to be the
Yes.
second half of the endurance, and then we will do some more stuck checking, and then we're going to do
Yeah.
another 40 laps. Is that correct?
Another 40 laps with their teammate. So each car has got two drivers. The
Yep.
first driver does the first bunch. Second driver does the second bunch. Some teams have opted for their second driver to do the qualifying, which is like a 10-minute thing at the beginning before the race for each class.
That makes
So
sense.
yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit like it's supposed to kind of simulate the way in which much longer endurance races are possible in the real world by
Yep.
having two or often three drivers who are swapping throughout. But unfortunately, this is the to do that kind of thing in GT Sport. So it's a little bit convoluted, the process of ending ending one part of the race and starting the next half. So the reason this is a test race and why a test race is necessary is to make sure that that process works. If it doesn't work straight away, there are a number of different options that the organisers can explore and figure out. If nothing works, then it'll change to a format where there are essentially two different distinct races, but with the same idea of the same team and one driver
Right.
per race. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hope for the best.
I'm really hoping that GT7 comes out and it's going to give us more lobby space, more telemetry, and will give us more options such as full course yellows, pace cars, things like that to give us a little bit more.
Don't you believe it?
Hey, it's a pipe dream, I know, right? But hey, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to ignore it completely because I won't be able to get a PS5 for many years to come, I am sure.
Nobody will. These are gonna be expensive, and since half the world isn't at work right now, right? So we
Yeah,
have to.
the media should be flexing its muscles and and promising like, oh, we reckon it's going to be really cheap. Yeah, it's going to undercut Microsoft. Yeah, it's going to because then Sony will feel pressured to release it at a lower price point. Because if the media keeps saying, "Oh man, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be so expensive," Sony could release the PlayStation 5 at 400, £400, $500, and people will say, "Ah, it's not quite as bad as we feared."
Yeah.
Maybe they're in league. They're in cahoots. It's all a stitch up. Price fixing via the fourth estate.
Well, I was wondering when one of the RWB drivers was actually going to put the car out on the track. So it looks like Venom finally takes one out there. I at
Yeah,
least wanted
well,
to let.
in the meanwhile, let's have a little bit of a nice little look and appreciation at all the lovely cars we've got here in all their resplendent colours. Why don't you take us through them?
Yeah, so up, let's look at AMS dude, who I believe he won the race a couple weeks ago, the multi-class race that we did. That is the Audi Vision GT car, and that purple is
Yeah,
pretty
the
nice looking.
e-tron hybrid thingy. Yeah, it's a complete peacock of a car, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And number two over there, Flynn's driving the R8 LMS 15, or was.
Wonderfully decorated. Oh, he's popped into the pits.
Yes, he sure has. All right. Let's see. At the AMS BNOP is running the Vantage, the Aston Martin.
Yep.
That is a lot of decal right there on that car. That's a lot of design.
Yeah, lovely wings.
It
Very
does. We'll see if he can fly during the actual race, right?
well, nothing's out of the question.
That's true. Let's see. Avalarian in the Tomahawk, right?
Parked on the grass. Yeah, there
Yep.
he is, and he's
Can't
gone
see it
transparent, so
very
we can't
well.
fully appreciate it. It
Yep.
is a very strikingly coloured car, though. It's a
Yep.
very striking design overall.
And then we've got Diago in the
Yep,
M6.
yep.
It's very
It's
racy.
yes, yeah. It looks. I don't want to be. I don't want this to come across as mean, but I find that it's the slightly more ugly cars that look more authentic to real life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Now,
And
if
this looks very authentic.
pardon my ignorance, but I'm looking at the SRT logo on the side of this BMW and thinking to myself, isn't that a Dodge like Mopar thing?
No, it stands for Supreme Racing Team,
Okay.
and no, sorry, Supreme Racing Technology. And the fact that you think that it's a Dodge SRT logo simply shows the extent to which crass, corporate commercialism and consumerism have infiltrated your thinking patterns. This is a completely different concept. Any passing resemblance is just that.
That's funny because it's on the back of every single Viper and most Dodge
Complete
racing vehicles.
coincidence. It's just.
All right, let's
It's
see if
just
this
that's
duck
if
check
that's the
comes
way
together.
your mind interprets it, then that's your problem. I'm sorry. Okay, this is another start.
Everyone go!
Hopefully. Oh, and that
No!
M bar again is stuck. That's
Again.
terrible. That might actually. Okay, so this means that Embar won't be able to participate in qualifying. He'll have to start at the back, even if he takes part. He might be able to get his teammate to take his place. But that's a shame. Full disclosure, I started the Renegade team, so I've got a dog in this fight. Actually, I've got two because Belvica and Nemesis formed a kind of a cross-team team called Renegade Phoenix. Kind of an amalgamation of Renegade and Phoenix. Okay, Vlave will have to qualify if he doesn't get stuck. We'll have to see if Vlave is around. Okay, I'm going to maintain my impartiality here and not try to ping Vlave and get him to come in. I think Embar can take care of that himself. Just as a point of interest, Embar is from Croatia and Glaver's from Serbia, so it's a sort of a renegade Balkans division, if you like.
Well, it's nice to see that we've got the international flavor of the race. We got people from all over the world in here, so that's nice.
Yeah, from the beginning of ESGT, it's been considered a plus if people from more nationalities can be taking part, so it isn't an all North American affair. It's basically considered that that sort of strengthens the. Oh, my game has crashed. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think it strengthens the sort of staying power of the series and also makes things a little bit more interesting for more people. Right, my game crashed. Did anything happen to you, or was it just me?
Nope, I'm still in there. It looks like
Okay.
we've got people
I
out on
must have been
track.
spectating. I think I must have been spectating the wrong person when they disconnected or something like that.
Technology. What are you gonna do?
I can't complain. Stuff I write also crashes sometimes.
Well, it looks like we got some cars back out on the track, so we can bring our video back up. Take a look at everybody. Not doing too bad. We're only about 20 minutes behind schedule, which is pretty typical for Gran Turismo, considering all the glitches that have to get worked out, right?
Yeah, it's astonishing, isn't it, that even in spite of all this, that Gran Turismo Sport is, generally speaking, the least bad option.
The least bad. There you go. It looks like they might be qualifying. They're on their outlaps right now.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Now, it should
Finn
be
is out
just
there.
the Group 3 qualifying that's going on at the
I
moment.
do believe that is the case. Yes. All the Group 3 cars are out on the track doing the qualifying, so we'll keep an eye out here. So watching Finn, he's going to be the first one to come across to start his first hot lap.
Hmm.
Followed by him, he's going to have Bill Bader not far behind him, Diago behind him, Shoots right after that, uh, RWB Venom, and AMS BNOP. So those are the six that are out there to do qualifying now. So let's keep an eye on Finn here and see what kind of lap he sets
Now, you may
for everyone.
notice, you may or may not have noticed in the game chat that Diogo has been given a warning because in this series, taking advantage of slipstreaming qualifying is strictly prohibited.
Correct.
Oftentimes, it's that you're not supposed to sort of engineer a situation so that you're following a car going into a flying lap. But if it happens to happen, then that's fine. But in this series, at least, it's prohibited to even be near another car
Now it
essentially.
looks like Shoots went ahead and just exited the track and then rejoined the track to give him that gap. So let me see here.
Yeah.
The closest people we have is Bill Bader is it's not showing really the time gap to the next driver. He's probably not within his
No, well,
slipstream.
the
He
time
looks
gap won't appear until they've actually started setting some laps. Are they
right.
still on an out lap?
But Bill Bader is looks like he's slowly gaining on Finn. He's gonna have to ease up or he's gonna end up in his slipstream there.
Yeah, it's a very nippy car, that Beetle.
I'll tell you what, I love that Corvette though. I drive that Corvette all
Oh
of
yeah,
the time. I really like it.
yeah. It's a good sort of in terms of driving style and performance. It's quite sort of middle of the road. It doesn't alienate anybody very much. It's good, solid. It's always been a fairly solid kind of dependable car that's never really been underpowered in any sort of in any noticeable way, really.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a favourite for a lot of people.
So
What
it
do you
looks like
think
we
of
got a
the?
decent spacing on all the cars right now, so they should be able to get some good qualifying laps in. I'm gonna wait until Finn comes across, so we'll see what our real times look like because we
I
had a
think
couple of.
I think personally, I think Bill is quite a little bit close to Finn. I think he's close enough to be picking up the tail of that slipstream.
He might be. He's about a second,
That's close enough.
almost two. Actually, he's probably almost two
Look, see,
seconds behind him.
Finn knows
Oh,
it.
yep,
Finn's aborted
yep.
his lap, so because I think he's spooked. But that's just meant that Diogo is now probably going to be in his slip. They've only got 10 minutes, so there's only so much of this kind of larking about that they can really,
Exactly.
yeah,
Now, I don't believe
carry
there's
on
any
with.
fuel and tire wear in qualifying, so they're not going to gain an
Correct.
advantage by wasting a lap because.
Yeah, we before ESGT, Nemesis and I ran a series where we had qualifying, and we quickly determined that when there was fuel and tyre use in qualifying, people would basically spend the first 5 minutes of the thing dawdling around the circuit, first
Burning
gear.
fuel.
Exactly, yeah. It just made the situation worse for everyone. So, making tyre and fuel wear for qualifying means that it can't be the system can't be gamed. So the best thing to do in qualifying is get out early, set laps early and often.
Yep. So Bill Bader takes the top spot, but that's because Finn woed up and let him by on that last lap. So now Finn should have a good solid lap ahead of him because he did get a good drive out of the final turn heading to the straight. So he should be on a
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good lap.
a 151.477 as well. How quick do you predict that the top GT3 driver will do?
Oh, as far as the fastest lap time, I'm
Yeah.
hoping to see a 150 out of him.
Hmm.
Um, but
Do
we'll
you
see.
know how? Do you have any idea? Because I do. The lap times we can expect from the Group One boys.
I don't.
137, 138 ish, maybe a bit less than that. So that means there'll be a time differential, 10 seconds a lap.
Yep. So if that's 10 seconds a lap, after what about every 14, 13 laps, they should come up to lapping these cars again, the slower cars.
I'm not sure, but I'll take your word for it.
Don't take my word for
Just
it. I'm
once.
terrible at math. I can add like single
Okay.
numbers, but the rest of it's a mystery to me.
All right. So hang on. Well, let's call it 140, which is 100 and
See,
10
where's that
seconds.
card? Okay,
10
so
seconds. Oh yeah, yeah. 10. I would say about 10. I should say it would about 10 laps.
all right, so Venom just comes across the line about 2.5 seconds slower than Bader. Um, so Bader is still out there. He's got about 6/10 of a second on Finn.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure Finn's gonna pick some up in this lap.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh,
I don't
another
know what
thing to
his
bear in mind is
timing is.
that this is a race where the tuning of cars is permitted. Not all of the VES races will have tuning permitted. This one does, and so the differences between cars and their viability, let's say, I think will become a little bit accentuated because the as stock, the cars are a little bit below their potential.
Oh, they are. Almost all of them are.
Mm.
There's very few cars in the game that don't require some tweaking to get the most out of them for sure.
Mm. Yeah, I was I was helping the Renegade team out with tuning setup, and honestly, there's a certain amount of technical knowledge and the ability to do sort of scientific method testing to set things up. But there's also a very, very high degree of driving style and preference that comes into it. Some drivers like myself prefer a car which I suppose errs a little on the side of understeer, is very predictable, and you can get the same kind of result lap on lap without too much, without every single corner being having a very high risk of throwing you off.
Yep.
Speaking of which, there went
Now
Venom.
they just announced that
And
qualifying is over, and it looks like
that's what happened.
uh,
Yep, they've
the
just got to
bottom
park.
two cars, the bottom two cars were more than a second and a half off the pace of
Mm.
the top cars, which is quite interesting. Now, one of the cars, Diogo jumped off the track, so I don't know where he finished because he left the race course. So, maybe I can look at the live timing and see where uh,
Mm.
he did come out ahead of Venom, so he should be in fifth position of the GR3 cars.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I was just going to say, some drivers have the complete opposite approach. They like to throw their car into corners. They like to sort of hammer it around the course. Lap times, from both approaches can be quite similar, but if car setup will be made largely depending on
Yeah.
how
Now,
drivers want to treat their car.
Finn is still out there churning like the hottest lap he can. I'm wondering if the
Interesting.
promoters gave him a
Well, it hasn't
it
really
didn't
affected
affect
anything,
anything. Yeah.
but yeah, it's I think, was he still already doing a hot lap when time was called?
Uh
Because
I don't know cuz Bill Bader was ahead of him and Bill Bader finished and Finn went around
yeah,
one more
I
time.
think, because
So,
you see, I think the rule is that you have to finish your flying lap and then park the car.
okay.
Yeah, it says finish your lap and park your car at the turn one. Yeah, he's done nothing wrong,
Yep.
as far as I can tell.
All right, so it
Right,
looks
now we're
like we're going to
seeing
get the GR1 time cars out
That's
there.
right.
We
Here
got to get
we
all
go.
these GR3 cars to head to the pits.
Yeah, yeah, skedaddle, guys.
And Diego's coming out for all these cars keep coming back out. What are they doing?
Getting confused. I wouldn't worry about
Yep.
it too much. I would just,
Here comes some GR1s. There we
if they get it
go.
sorted out by the end of the outlap, then I'd say it's not a problem. But otherwise, it's going to be a real pest having some ghosted cars and yellow flags littered all over the place. That's not going to be a
So
problem.
first on the course
Right.
in the
So,
Group 1s is Jack Mia, by the looks of
oh
things.
really? I've got X Dude out in front.
I don't see X. Oh, there he is.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Cause you know what? When I saw that car, I instantly thought to my head Group 3 because it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's a VGT car, and I was thinking we were looking at LMP cars. So that's why I was
Yeah. It
confused.
is.
Okay.
It is an e-tron car, so it's got, I presume, similar drivetrain to the Audi LMP. It's got a hybrid system and a four-wheel drive setup at minimum.
Yep. I don't know what kind of I don't know what kind of energy capture system this uses. Like his
Well, if it's
battery is
anything like
already
the
out.
R18, then it uses an electric, I think, magnetic spin-up thing that takes energy primarily from the rear brakes, feeds it into a battery, and then helps drive the forward wheels out of corners. And it also has a four-wheel drive setup where most of the power goes to the back wheels. That's more or
Game
less what
crashed
I. What's
again.
he?
Will run with another host. Uh-oh.
Okay, because yeah, I'm looking at X-Dude, who's just apparently parked in the middle of the road, but I know
Yeah, he
that's
was
not
going
the
forwards,
case.
then he backed up. It looks like
I didn't think that Nemesis was hosting. He's had some network problems. I thought someone else was going to do it. See, this is why it's important to have test races, right?
Uh-huh. All
Yeah,
right.
we're
Out we
skedaddling now.
go. Well, hopefully I am friends with whoever this new person is that's going to be hosting the room. Or that's going to be
Um,
confusing.
let me have a look. Okay.
All right, so I'll put our BRB banner up, let everybody know that we're working on this here.
Mm.
Um,
Have you got one of those little what's it? Technical issues. Please wait. Things with the,
that I
the
don't
lift
have.
music. Okay, get
Maybe I
hold
do
of
have
some of
that
that, like
one. Let's see.
that Kevin MacLeod elevator music.
Well, no, everyone can still listen to us just chit-chatting, so that won't be a
What is
problem.
there to chit chat about?
Well, we'll
Well,
chit-chat about whatever we want. Well, at least we got the
so which?
GR3 out of the way as the qualifying goes. Now I
Yeah.
just need to figure out. Do you see a new lobby open?
Well, I'll have a look. No, I think they're still figuring out who shall be host. I guess it's gonna be Avalerion.
That person I am not a friend with, so I'm going to have to get the exact name of that and send their friend request. Do you have that
Alright.
PSN
I
name?
believe so.
Oh,
Give me
Avalarian, it's
just a
right here.
second to look
I
up.
got it right here. Let me send him a friend
Okay.
request.
Blue chat, what's this? Hmm. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, exactly. ERS. I already received a friend request. Okay. guess he sent it knowing I needed to be on there. Okay, let's see if I can find this lobby now. There it is.
Okay, I need to pop out and pop in.
All right. Sorry
Yeah.
about technical difficulties, folks. It is
Yeah.
electronic gaming system, and not everything works perfectly. I had this conversation with
I
somebody
might.
talking about their little robot vacuum this morning. He says, "This thing is stupid." I said, "It's only as smart as the humans that make them, man." So
Yeah. Um. I don't think I'm friends with the Avalerion because he
his
seems
gamer
really
tag is on that on the driver roster.
right. Yeah, I thought it began with the IS. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I'm not friends with the guy.
Did you get a friend request from him at all?
No, I sent one to him just now.
Okay.
Now to wait for that. He's accepted. Restart game. The things we do to indulge our fantasies of being a real motorsport.
There you go. All right, so let's see. We're still waiting on So Avalarian needs to accept your friend request. You sent it, right?
No, well, that's been sorted out. I've just restarted the game, and I have to get there.
Okay, it looks like some of the drivers are back out on track, just getting some hot laps in. So let's let everybody go ahead and take a look at all of that while we're waiting for things to get together. And my commentator pal Nick is back in the new lobby.
Yep,
So
I'm getting there. Yeah. So, what have you been up to during lockdown?
nothing. I've been doing this.
I think probably the same kind of thing can be said for about 90% of people, to my
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Yep. Well, we've been doing a lot of developing of technologies and stuff for RWB racing, for our team,
Ah,
and building up our team for the last few months, and which has allowed us to field four really good drivers for this event. I'm sure that AMS, ERS, CSX, and the rest of them, they're probably all doing the same too. All these people sitting at home with nothing to do, going stir crazy. It's a great escape to get out and
oh yeah, definitely.
to race.
Yeah, partly the aiming for something aspect of it, the drive to succeed, and partly the social aspect of it.
Yep.
Uh,
This
I mean,
Belvica's Tomahawk sounds just like the or not Tomahawk, the Mazda.
it's not a Tomahawk, it's
Yeah.
Mazda
Yeah.
LM55.
It sounds so awesome. That
It's a
car is
vacuum cleaner, but it's a very good vacuum cleaner.
there you go. Is that what vacuum
So
cleaners sound
I
like
had
over
that
in
during
Europe?
the
Because they don't
GT
sound like
Sport
that here.
Beta. I was gifted it in the GT Sport Beta, and I raced it around a lot. It was very difficult to do a good paintwork for it, though.
Yeah, it's got a lot of
Oh yeah.
curves.
Oh, it sound actually no. My memory is wrong. It actually sounds more like a V10 Formula One car,
That's what I
as
was
in
thinking. It sounds
the
more like
best
that.
kind.
All
Yeah, the
right,
best
stuck
kind of
check time, and
Formula One
then
car.
hopefully it all works out and they can. Why are there a bunch of cars on? Oh,
Yep.
I guess everyone's.
Phew.
Yeah,
I was about to start turning into an old man yelling at the sky. Then
we're
I
missing a driver. Is there really 13?
I've got 13 here. Yeah. Um,
Shouldn't there be 14? Maybe there is only 13.
where's Lave?
It.
Oh no,
Oh,
M-Bar
we
was
got
here.
one stuck.
Oh wow, M-Bar's actually started. We've got
Yeah,
one
that's good.
stuck. Is that Beanop?
That is yeah, Beanop, the AMS driver. I don't know if he's stuck or if he's just not at the wheel.
I believe, you know, I mean it's his responsibility to
He left
have
the
his
track,
eye on things.
so
Yeah, he's stuck.
my I need to get back into spectate mode. My camera angles aren't working right. There we go. And ERS just needs to exit the track. There we go. Okay.
If your camera angles get stuck when spectating, just back out of spectator and
Yep.
then go back
Just
into
go
it.
back out
Yeah.
and back in and back to the races, so to speak.
Hmm. Right. Okay, we're doing qualifying for Group One now.
Okay, so Group 1 qualifying. Awesome.
Sheikah has backed off a little bit. He's giving some space for Chris.
Yeah, Jack Mia is a little too close to Belvica. He's still in the slipstream for sure. Looks like it's starting to open up.
You know, Belvica's actually the driver's mum's name. He just can't be bothered to set up a new PSN account. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So if there are any viewers who are starting to develop a crush on the cute Russian chick, it's not.
So Sheikah was in the last race as well. He had a different name. He went
Okay,
by
yeah.
Cupcake. He's rebranded, so to speak. So for those of you who are wondering who the heck Sheikah
I
is,
can't
that
keep.
is used to be
I can
Cupcake.
barely keep track, to be honest. You know.
There's going to be another car out when we get to the second stint when for RWB, and I only know this because I'm with RWB. RWB Outlaw is actually is the founder of RWB as a whole, and
Oh right. So
yeah,
he's taking part. Oh nice.
yep, he's gonna drive the second stint in the Beetle, and
I wonder if he, as the founder, is also one of their faster drivers, or whether he's like me.
no, let me put it this way: I don't think there's been a race yet that I've been able to beat him.
Hmm. So he's
Um, hi-
a.
yeah, his name beforehand was GT Driver. I believe
Okay.
also he was on
So then.
Rockefeller. I think it was Arrowhead, maybe.
Ah.
He's
Yeah. I'm just
fast. He's
thinking.
so fast.
Wonder what happened to Rockefeller. Have they disbanded entirely, or were they
I
just?
don't think so.
Okay, they're
Uh,
still going. They're just a little bit less visible, at least as far as this particular bubble of sim racing is
that's
concerned.
quite possible.
Hmm.
All right, so it looks like dude is coming around to put in his first lap here in a couple of corners. So he's doing. Everyone's spread out really well. These Group One drivers or the Vision drivers are definitely keeping their distance from each other, which is good. So let's see, what does he set? Oh, as you predicted, a 133. Look at that.
Wow, that is a
That's
lot faster than I was
fast.
anticipating. I
Yeah.
was thinking maybe 130.
Well,
Oh,
Belvica
wait,
did a
of course, because
136. There's a 137
of
for
course I
Jack.
forgot something. It's not race conditions, so the lap times will be faster because they're essentially running on zero fuel simulated. Yeah.
Well, the tanks are
Um,
full.
no, no, it shows as full, but because it's just because the fuel's not empty. In other words, it's because there's no fuel consumption set
Oh, okay.
that the cars behave as though the tanks are empty, but they're still going. If that makes
I got
sense.
you. Okay.
Uh, so yeah, in qualifying conditions, the cars are an awful lot faster. Something like something in the field of 5 seconds a lap faster they can be. I might be exaggerating, but it's a significant amount.
Well, it looks like,
It's
let me go to the live
yeah.
timing really quick and see what we're looking at. So, dude ran a 133. The next fastest was a 136, a full 3 seconds slower.
Yeah,
We got two 136s, three 137s, and a 139.
mm.
So, of course, it
It's
is only the first couple laps.
possible. It's possible that some drivers have optimized their tuning setup the race pace so that the cars can't be quite as aggressive as they need to be in order to set really blistering lap times for qualification.
That's true.
I might be wrong,
Maybe
but
he's got the
it's a
downforce
possibility.
lower on the car for more speed in the straights, and
Maybe.
which
I mean,
won't
to
help
be
much during
honest,
the race.
yeah, it's a good mixture this circuit has got a lovely balance of slow corners where mechanical grip is king, fast corners where you want the downforce, and then like a couple of long straights and two longish straights where you kind of don't want that downforce drag.
Right.
It's a trade-off, you know. There's no definitive correct answer that excludes all others. There's you know, swings and roundabouts and all that. But I think that people will basically have set their downforce up to go as fast as they can through the S's in Sector 2, but not so well through the S's that they can, be asleep at the wheel and cruise through it.
Yep. As a matter of fact, it looks like Sector 3 is the best sector for all of these drivers. Those are their best sectors.
That
Um,
means that they've set their downforce relatively low.
yeah. So it's still 133.1 for AMS
I
dude.
think it's
VLX is at a 134.3, so it's only about a second slower. A second slower than that is
whoa, Belgica's
Belgica.
gone spinning into the pit lane and then out of the pit lane because the game doesn't let you in the pit lane if you're sideways.
Oh
That was
no,
great.
who was that did that?
Belgica.
Well, unfortunately, in practice, there's no replay to go back and watch all
Yeah,
of
I
that.
know, I
So
know.
I'm just going to the live timing screens just to kind of keep an eye on how everyone's doing here. It looks like Chris, Sheikah, and Avalaran had their best first sectors going right now. Um,
Yeah, I'm not totally sure if they've got low downforce setups because Sector Three's time is largely dependent on how well you come out of Sector 2. So I don't know, man.
yeah. Well, let's take a look at these liveries while they're going. So there's that purple car we were looking at earlier, AMS dude. That is a beautiful car. So currently,
It's
he's going to qualify first by the looks of things. He's definitely quicker than the rest of the cars by a full second. VLX Chris is he's in the same ride, running about 2 seconds slower or second slower as far as their fastest laps go, 1.1. Belvica is 2.8 seconds behind the leader, driving the Mazda.
Mhm.
I like that purple and orange. That's kind of cool looking. I dig it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a combination of the Phoenix colours, Phoenix 7 Racing,
yep.
and Renegade's sort of orange and black. It's missing the streak of green, but I think that probably would have been far too much. I think this is at the very limit of what constitutes a tasteful livery.
There you go. Let's see. Let's look at in so in position 4 is RWB Sheikah, who is about three and a
Both
half
white and
seconds
blue.
behind the fastest lap of AMS dude, and I'm not terribly
Yeah.
surprised because AMS dude just blistered the track a couple of weeks ago at
Okay.
Nürburgring GP, and it was impressive to watch to say the least.
Yeah,
It looked.
I'm just
Oh, sorry.
watching
Go ahead.
Sheikah actually, and it looks like his driving style is a little bit sort of all or nothing. A bit twitchy, a bit uh, oh dear,
Oh
yeah,
boy.
not good.
Well, let me tell you a little something about this cat. So he can't seem to make up his mind whether he wants to drive with the wheel or drive with the controller. And some cars he will, some cars he won't. Um, but
Mm,
all in all, he is always at the top. He always rises to the top. So he's not a guy that's,
though we shouldn't,
yeah, don't count him
though
out.
we shouldn't confuse this flakiness for an indicator of performance. He's because I mean some drivers they do take qualifying as kind of an opportunity to test the limits,
Indeed. Well, speaking of
but this
testing
does look
limits,
quite
it looks
twitchy.
like Jack Mia has got just about 2/10 slower than Sheikah, and coming across the line now
No
didn't
change.
make it any better. It was his fastest lap, but it didn't get him across the line. It looks like he's finished up his lap. Um, looks like we got two more drivers, Mba and Avalarian, that have to finish their life. So I'm looking at Mba here. Coming around the final corner. We'll see what that does. He's in last place qualifying. Let's see if he can pick anything up here on this lap. Not his best lap, and Avalarian also not his best lap. So it looks
Yeah.
like that will set the grid there.
Yeah,
Looks like
again, I wouldn't put too much stock in the qualifying because I suspect that considering how short qualifying is and how long the race is, I think the drivers I think the smarter ones will probably have put all of their practice time into race condition settings, which is quite different and, quite a bit slower than qualifying settings allow the cars to be. So this is basically, just give up a few grid positions in favour of getting a better race. It seems like a no-brainer for such a long event.
Yep. All right. So while we get everybody set up and get all of the grids set up here, this should be an interesting race. The standings have been recorded. The now they're going to bring in. It says bring in the stage one drivers. So the stage one drivers
Right,
are all
yeah, that
supposed to come join up. I think they had a couple stage two drivers
it
run
means
quali,
that
right?
if let's reverse the statement. There are some stage two drivers who did qualifying, so they've got to, you know, jog on and let their teammates take the wheel, so to speak.
Yep. All right, so we got some cars coming out on the track. There's
Yeah.
Optimal.
Yeah, optimal in Delmar Esports. Sorry, I haven't got the corona. I just got something in my throat. I'm sorry, I've just demonetized your video, haven't I?
The so Optimal is going to be in this is driver number two, so he shouldn't be. Uh,
Oh yeah, that's the point. Yeah,
he
what's
should
he
be in the
doing?
second stint. We should have Jack Mia, VLX Chris, AMS Dude, Mbot, ERS Avalarian, RWB Shika, and PX7 Nemesis as our
Uh,
Group
yeah,
1
except
drivers.
that Nemesis dropped. He dropped himself out, I think, because his network connection is too flaky. I think. So Belvica, I think, may be doing both. No, no, no. He is taking the car. Sorry, I must be thinking of something else. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you're quite right. Optimal. Oh, it might. Maybe it's just that. Have we seen shoots at all today?
I saw him earlier.
I saw him earlier as well. Maybe he had a last minute thing come up, in which case, poor old
Nemesis is here.
Optimal
He's in
here
the
will be doing
pits.
the whole thing. Yeah.
So we have 13 cars in here. There should be yeah, there should be 13 cars in total. So it looks like we have
Yeah.
everybody here that needs to
I
be
think
here.
Sheik has made up his mind whether he wants to use controller or gamepad because he's now just spinning his tyres.
Oh, that's an RWB thing. We Americans just sit there and want to do Brodies, or well, I call them Brodies. People call them donuts, whatever, and just spin the cars around
Yes,
for a while.
yeah, I know, but presumably you don't do that while you're still making up your mind which controller to use.
Hmm. Understood. Well, what's interesting is the last race, his controller died, or his pedal broke in the middle of the race, and he had to grab his controller to finish the race.
Well, never
So
mind that because we're about to start right
yes, we
now.
are.
There's a Group 3 car near the front. What's going on?
There's something
Is
wrong.
this...
It's all messed up.
Let's
We got a
assume this
false
is the
starter
real
back there.
start. And they're off.
We got some
And they're
problems
all...
in the back. We got a stuck car.
Yeah. Okay, they're all
Wow!
acting like
Holy
complete idiots.
mackerel!
This
That
must
was
be a stuck check. It
everyone
must
just
be a
went
stuck check.
flying through there. Holy cow! That was every car at 150 miles an hour into the wall.
Most of them.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, three of these drivers might believe that they're in a race.
They might believe that they are, but
Okay,
Come
they're
on.
also
They
dropping
got to
off.
start
Okay,
noticing
that's
the
fine.
leaderboard has only got a couple people on it. There we go. At least the RWB guy wasn't the
Valerian
last
wins
one to
by
leave.
default. Crack open the champagne, lads. He's done it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Rolling start. Okay. I would imagine they're going to put the Group 3 cars behind the Group 1 cars in the order. Oh, okay.
I'll
So
give whatever
Nemesis is
is
now laying
favourite.
out the starting order in Discord so that Avalarian can get his hands on it and sort that out. We are about an hour behind schedule on this race with all these technical difficulties.
That means that the drivers and host for the next one are going to turn up an hour earlier than they should.
Yep.
Some people will have to stay up a bit past their bedtimes. Probably most notably Belvica because, Russia, Moscow time. It's about 8 hours ahead of America.
Yeah, it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the West Coast in the United States. Let's hope they can get all of this. What was that? What was that message? Just you ready? Up. We'll start the race shortly. Okay. So they
Yeah,
must be
hold
setting
on.
the starting grid now.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hmm.
Just dawned on me. I never checked to see if our streams were actually playing the audio. I'm gonna double check that here really quick.
That would be embarrassing.
All right. Well, we definitely have audio, so that is
Yeah.
good. People have just been watching this mess, all of these technical challenges. Um, so I definitely see the tire and fuel wear working on these cars already. Looking at AMS BNOP, I see a slight hint of red on his soft tires and some fuel usage. So,
Yeah. I believe we'll just be saying believe we'll just be seeing soft tyres used for this because the tyre wear rate is exceptionally low.
well, I have 40 laps. My guess is there will be some pit stops in there. I don't know how many because uh, I haven't driven this
Yeah,
track on those fuel usages. I'm assuming there's going to be at least one pit stop for fuel and tires.
yeah. I haven't, uh, I haven't really done much sort of strategic testing, shall we say? I
Uh-oh, we
think
got a
that the
broken
pits.
car. We got a broken car in the pits going backwards.
Oh
It's
no,
AMS BNOP. His car is doing the forwards and
he's
backwards
had several
K turns
problems.
in the pits.
Yeah, pit pit lane waltzing, let's call it, tends to stem from the same problem that causes cars to get stuck on the grid. So it's surprising that it's happening. It's not surprising that it's been up.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of morbidly fascinating watching it.
I know, I was watching it for a while. I was like, I should probably look at something else. People don't want to watch the car just doing turns in the pit. So I'm back out on
Yeah,
track watching Top Hat. turn a few corners, and I'll just work my way
No, no,
down
let's
as we.
get that as a slow-mo action replay, let's. Right. Top hat looking good. Optimal looking good. Optimal seems to be driving the Matrix.
Yep, I'm looking at. I like that livery, just the color scheme and the shadows and everything, and it looked pretty great. Let's see, Finn is out here. He's getting himself warmed up in the R8. Now, what'll be
Which do you think
interesting?
is
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
which do you think is the best side of Finn's car?
Of Finn's car, the best side?
Yes.
I like the all black side, in my opinion. I like.
I'm kind of liking the blue side because I like elegant simplicity. But the black side's nice too.
Yep. Hey, black sides matter. Okay,
Let's
no
not
more.
go
I won't do that anymore.
there.
All right, so
I'd like to point it out that ESGT has quite a strict no politics please rule.
yep. All right, so this should be the stuck check. Or actually, this is probably going to be the start of the race. Yeah, because it's a rolling start.
Yeah, this
So
is it. This is it.
here
Let's
we
not go.
go. Look at that. We've got six, but six, seven A plus drivers in this event. There is going to be some fast driving happening around here.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
rolling start kind of takes the drama out of the start in most cases, but I suppose that's both its advantage and disadvantage.
Well,
With
one advantage is
commentators,
you're not going to have a pile of cars cramming into each other at turn one as much, but it puts a disadvantage at the cars
right, here we go, here we
on the
go, here we
start.
go.
Here we go. AMS dude out front.
Whoa!
Chris right there behind him with Sheikah. Everyone kind of slips in line there in the
Yeah,
GR1s. Oh,
Nemesis making a move through it. Oh no, had
doesn't
a
quite
lope,
stick it
came
in
back in.
there.
Stuff going on in the midfield.
Oh, Nemesis does make a move.
Yeah, again, has another lope, goes back in.
Oh, Beanop is retired from the race.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest though, we kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, we did. All right, so it looks like
Nemesis is going for it again. He's going to make it, I think.
he had him, and then Sheikah got past him. It looks like Nemesis Sheikah's covering the inside lane and lets him
Not
by.
anymore.
So,
Oh,
whoa,
that was nearly
that
a
was
crash.
close. Sheikah almost ate it on that corner, but I think Jack Mia's gonna tuck in behind him.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult this next section. The racing line is quite tight, so I don't think we're going to see any bold moves here. He's going to try and get the run up, isn't he, for the start-finish straight.
It seems that
I
way.
think
I'm
he's
on
going
board
to.
looking backwards from Sheikah, and Jack Mia's in his slipstream there, but I don't know if he's going to have him by the first corner, so I think it's going to be.
At the Group 3 part, the top hat picked up some dirt, had a bit of a clumsy line through the final section, so it's possible Optimal might jump on him, but I don't know.
Well, let's ride
No, I
right
don't
on
think he's
board
quite
with
there.
Optimal and see what he can do here. So looking from his view, right behind Top Hat. Oh, Top
Whoa,
Hat gets a little
whoa!
sideways. And he's about to lose two spots. Oh, wait a minute. He's going to come back up to.
No, he's somehow he's got it. I think what happened is
Oh,
that
Finn's right there, though.
I think Optimal thought that the incident was partly his fault and backed off. That's the only thing I can think of. There's no way that you recover from it and lose no time at all.
Yep.
But yeah,
Oh,
Finn's taken the opportunity to jump right in.
yep, he
Good
did. He
stuff
snuck it
there.
around, too. He had a couple wheels right in the grass edge. which is dangerous because we know one blade of grass from a mower on the track in
Oh, whoa!
Gran
Look at
Turismo.
the front. Look at the front. That I would get
Oh, look
replay
at
of
that.
that
We
because
do
that
have a
was.
change here. Chris made a move.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
AMS dude is not gonna let him slide on that one though. He's right there with him. Oh, and
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
gets a little
Picked
sideways.
up dust. It's gonna be. Is he gonna try and outbrake him into turn one? No, he isn't. He
Oh,
just
off the
let Chris
track, VLX.
self-destruct under pressure.
He's really steering that car too. Like he's just overdriving. It looks like he's driving on a controller.
Embar's
With his
gone off. Embar went off. He's trying to defend himself against Avalerion.
Oh, he almost
Whoa!
wipes out.
Finicky, these cars, aren't they?
They get that way, right? You know, all that downforce. You know, let's go.
It's
Let's
not
let the
down.
GR3 cars have a little
Downforce
love
has
here.
got nothing to do with it at low speeds. This is all about application of
Throttle control
throttle
for
through
sure.
the wheels. Yeah.
So look at this. 7, 8, and 9 are our top three GR3 cars. You
Yes.
could throw a blanket over these three cars.
Yes.
They're so close together. There's each
You
one of them
could.
just
Yeah.
waiting for someone to make a mistake. Oh, Finn's sticking his nose in there, trying to see if he can make something happen to get that first spot. Meanwhile, Optimal's just sitting there, just waiting for a mistake, and he's
Hmm.
gonna capitalize on it.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on the top two. I'll let you know if something crazy happens between them or if they get close.
There's a lot of two-car battles I can see going on the track, for sure.
Certainly. Avalerion has accrued a penalty. He's going to have to pay it off on the start finish straight. If he doesn't, yeah, he knows the score. He's going to. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, Finn made his move and is now leading, but Top Hat's coming around back around the outside. Oh, a little bumping, but Top Hat, he still got the inside corner here. Oh, and he loses it out, and so Finn is now
This is just
comfortably.
giving Optimal more of a chance to catch up, and
Yep. Oh, he's not just catching up. He might as well be pushing that Corvette around the track. He's so close to him.
yeah,
Coming across the start finish. Oh, CSX gets a little sideways. I think Optimal might be able to make a move here. Let's see.
yeah.
Let's look from
Optimal
Optimal's point of
is
view.
like us commentators. He's kind of feeling a bit like a vulture, I'm sure, just waiting for
Yep.
something to go down.
Now I'm noticing an interesting tactic that Optimal is using. I don't know if the other guys are using it. I'll check that in a second. He is short shifting that Aston Martin like you wouldn't believe. I believe the Aston Martin's got a pretty good low end torque on it, but he might be fuel saving to try to make some time up
Well,
in the.
he's got no. He's not going to be able to get past the other guys without a fight, which is going to kill his tyres a little bit. And he may not need to. He might just be able to have a better strategy than the two drivers ahead of him, simply by being more conservative.
I think I'm gonna come up here and take a look at the just run down the order real quick, see where we're at. Oh, AMS dude's about 3.5 seconds, 3.7 seconds out in front, commanding a lead.
Yeah, he's really been pushing that lead.
Yep. Then Chris about 4 seconds back. Nemesis
Wow, Chris
is
must
another
have
9 seconds
really
back.
had a problem at some point to fall so far behind.
Yeah, he's 13 seconds back. Now, if I look, let me just
No,
take a look.
that's Nemesis who's 13 seconds back. Yeah.
Now, Nemesis does have a little bit more fuel in his tank than Dude does, so he might be trying to save a little fuel, perhaps. I don't know if he had an incident. Sheikah is about the same fuel situation as Nemesis, and he's only about a second
And
and a half
catching up
back.
too.
Yeah, he's definitely close. Is Nemesis having a problem in that Mazda, or is he just fuel saving maybe more than
I
he
I
should?
think I think that it might be that Sheikah is a little bit of a higher class of driver than Nemesis is. I don't mean to knock Nemesis, but he's a far better organizer than driver, which just means to me that he's a very good organizer.
All right. So then, so Sheikah's about a second and a half behind him, 16 seconds back from the leader. Emba is another 6 seconds back from Sheikah, and right behind him is Avalarian, which is about a second back, and
Yeah,
25 seconds back from the
he's
leader.
been gaining on Avalarion little by little. Avalarion had the advantage of slipstreams to keep up, but he's been falling a little behind. I think that Embar's just putting on a better performance at the moment.
It seems that that's the case. So in our up in Group Three, Top Hat's made
Yeah,
his way back
it's
in
just as
front of
hot as it
Finn.
ever was. The three-way battle.
Yep. And Optimal is definitely playing this one really smart. I mean,
Oh
these
yeah,
other guys are running their RPMs way out. Optimal is definitely short shipping the car. He's definitely got more fuel than these guys, probably about an eighth of a tank more fuel than those two other drivers, and he's getting the advantage
yeah,
of their slipstream to
yes.
save
It's
fuel.
but oh whoa,
Whoa, look at that!
whoa, top hat.
Wow, these
Yes, of
two guys
course.
are just
By
duking
committing
it
to the
out.
strategy, by committing to this strategy, of course, if Optimal ever makes a mistake and loses slipstream from the two drivers ahead, whoop,
Whoa, look who's
being
in the middle
lapped.
of them. Well, look at that move!
Whoa!
Whoa! Jeez!
Lovely. Yeah,
That
if the others get too far ahead of him, the fact that he's got more fuel is going to mean that he's not going to be able to catch up with them. So he's just, the fact that he's outsmarting the two drivers ahead of him doesn't necessarily mean that he's in an infallible position.
well,
He's got to keep
correct.
himself on the ball.
Now, right behind
Way.
him, here comes VLX Chris to come through and pass these guys.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out that when these upper first class drivers come storming in, sometimes it creates opportunities for overtakes by
It does.
one driver having a bit of an advantage in the situation over another. And indeed, we can see that Chris has managed to take advantage. Taking advantage.
Yep. Now, what's interesting too is I'm looking at the. Oops. It's so hard to move around here. Hang on a second. As far as tires go, uh, Optimal and Finn have better rear tires. Optimal's tire situation is looking uh, marginally better than the rest of these two drivers, so we'll
Whoa.
see how that plays out for
Watch,
them.
watch out for Nemesis. He's coming.
Yep, I'm gonna go into a chase can on Nemesis and watch him as he navigates through these cars when he
Oh, that'll be
catches up to
fun.
him.
Oh no, do it in bumper cam. That'll be even more fun.
All right, bumper cam it is. He's gonna be on them in about another 3 seconds.
No, I give
He'll
it
catch
10,
him by the end of the straight.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
All right, let's see.
One.
Let's see how this plays out. He's gotta be smart. He can't just bully his way through.
That was close.
Yes, it was.
That's right. Now, the rationale is that the
Outside,
second-class
inside.
drivers
Whoa!
aren't going to be able to...
Wow!
Okay, so the lower class drivers can't really effectively spot the faster drivers until they're right on top of them.
Right.
So the second class drivers have basically absolute right of way, for all intents and purposes, until the front of the faster class car is in line with the B pillar of the slower car. In other words, when they're right alongside them.
Look, and there
So
goes
yeah,
Sheikah
they're
coming
gonna
through.
having to dodge around them because I mean, otherwise, yeah, it's just not fair on the lower class drivers because they can't really to happen within the blink of an eye as far as they're concerned.
Yep. And you know what? My predictions were pretty far off. I thought it was going to be about lap, 13 before these Group
Yeah, I
1
thought
cars
lap
caught up.
10, but it's just been 7 laps.
Yeah, so they are definitely, and now they got two more coming up on these guys. It's making a huge difference in how these guys are handling their individual battles with all these faster cars. And on the side note of that, the faster cars, which are trying to catch up to the
Whoa!
front, wow,
Come on
Mob's
then,
going way
Bar.
outside. Mbow's going way outside to get around him.
He's he was this close to spinning off by touching the glass there. Oh, another
This is
one.
a
Here's
great place to
Apalerio.
pass. So what's interesting
I
is,
love it. We can look forward to this kind of drama every 7 laps, guys.
yep. Now, what's interesting is these Group 1 drivers, not only are they trying to figure out how to catch their competitors in their class, then they get stuck behind these slower cars, and
Yeah.
they got to make quick work of these guys because if they don't, they're losing
Yep.
valuable time to the other drivers. Oh,
Optimal is hounding Top Hat. Top
he is
Hat's looking
all
unstable.
over him, isn't he? Let's go to chase cam view or bumper cam view of. No, I want chase view. Give me chase view. Thank you. All right.
I don't like broadcasting with chase view because we have to imagine that there's some kind of a drone with it tied to a big string behind the car.
I just like being able to see above him to kind of see how the cars ahead are taking the corners and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, so on his hood, we'll do his hood cam so I can still see kind of higher up than the bumper cam.
I've just noticed that the e-tron Vision GT Audi, when it brakes, the Audi logo on the back lights up. How kitsch is that?
You know what we haven't done yet? I need to let's go up and take a look at some of the other cars racing. We've been focusing on the leaders so much. So we got in the Group 1s, we got Sheikah is still out there. Emba, 36 seconds back. It won't be long, I imagine, before maybe even a couple of these Group 1 cars are going to get lapped by the other Group 1 cars. They're only about a. They're.
I hate to agree with you, but it looks like it's gonna happen, doesn't it?
Yep.
Within, let's say, by about lap 20, 22-ish.
Yeah, let's see, we're 10 laps in, and they've already lost 2/3. So yeah, about lap 25, 30, somewhere around there, depending if they have any mistakes or not.
Abelarion's getting really close up behind Embar.
He is. I'm watching him. He's in his slipstream. He's definitely catching up. He's definitely showing some tire wear now on the front tires of that car.
Yeah, he's burning through tyre wear to get to his rival here. I should point out that Renegade and ERS have a little bit of a friendly sort of rivalry going on. Sometimes doing sort of little cross-team events together.
All right. Well, let's go take a look in at Diago. So he's
whoa! Look at Finn and replay. Finn and Top Hat.
Okay, I'm on Finn. I marked it. Do you need me to go back and take a look? Let's go take a look at a replay here. Let's see what happened here. So there's Finn right there. See us? Looks like Optimal's right there behind him. Oh, Optimal gets completely off the track, and Finn goes wide as well. I don't know what happened there. Let's go back and watch.
Lapse in judgment, I think.
Let's take a look again here from Top Hat's point of view.
So is it the top hat went off and Optimal followed him off?
Well, it looks like, oh no, Top Hat didn't do anything wrong. It looked like Finn went up to him and almost hit him, so he moved wide. Optimal may have been the big loser in that one. Take a look here.
Hmm.
He was right on Finn, and he got in the grass a little bit trying to avoid Finn. That's what got him. You know, it's just a racing incident. No one hit anybody, which was amazing. These three drivers managed all of that. Good job.
Hmm.
All right, so now Optimal has got some work to do.
Thankfully, nothing particularly dramatic happened while you were playing the replay.
Yep. So Venom out there is about 3 seconds behind
Look
Diago.
at Diego and Finn.
Yep.
Look at Diego and Finn, yeah?
How did he catch up to Finn? Oh, because Finn went off. That's right. So they're right.
Hmm.
Diego's four tenths behind him. He's right there. We still have 30 laps of this to go before you even switch drivers for another round.
Hey, come on, people like long-form videos on YouTube.
I hope so, because we're, what, an hour and a half into this already?
Yeah.
Let's see, Venom is about 3 seconds back from Diago, so seems to be struggling with that Beetle, which is weird because the Beetle's always been such a, pardon the term, it's used so all the time, OP, right? Like, it was, for a while, it was the car that, you know, people banned from being on the track because it was just wrong. But looks like Diego fell back.
I believe now nothing's been finalised, but I believe the VW New Beetle and the VW Scirocco GTI VGT ABCD cars are both being omitted from the next ESGT Group 3 series.
Interesting. Okay.
Basically because they make the whole thing look like a farce. I mean,
Yeah.
one of them's an open top car. I mean, you know.
Yeah, you can't have that. So it looks
I
like
like though the sort of wackiness and exotic cars. He's driving the Alpine VGT. I'd hope that someone would.
you know, I'm just looking here. I noticed that we have a new leader in the GR3 class, Optimal. Oh, that's because
Is it
Top
because of the
Hat,
pit stop?
Top Hat and
Yeah,
Finn
I
and
saw the pit stop earlier.
Okay, that's why.
He hasn't refueled, but that makes sense, I guess. Because there's no need, because he had more than half already.
All right, so it looks like AMS dude is in the pits, getting some new tires thrown on there. Got soft tires.
And-
VLX has followed him in.
stopping
I'm assuming
fuel
Nemesis
as
will
well.
go with him when he comes around.
Chris is also in.
Yep, and he picked up soft tires as well. But he only
Yeah,
did
I think
about
soft-
he didn't do any fuel. Well, he did some fuel. They
Tiny amount, maybe.
Yeah, they both
just
took a
to get
tiny
over
amount.
Halfway. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing medium or hard tyres in this race at all. If the tyre wear were much higher, then yeah, maybe. But it's considered just to be a hindrance.
Now Nemesis stayed out. He's definitely got some wear on the front of that car, significantly more
Yeah.
than the rear.
Yeah, he's also a little bit looser around the corner. Well, at least that corner, the sort of turn 3-4 section. Yeah, ideally you want to come into the pits when you're starting to lose time of like more than a second a lap. And let's
these
see how his sector time is.
about near the same time, so he hasn't really fallen off.
Yeah, if he hasn't got a reason to pit, he's only, I think he's going to be about, 8 tenths slower this lap than his very
And
best
I'm
lap,
looking at
which
Sheikah. 2 laps ago he turned his fastest lap at a 138 and on his older
Yeah.
tires. And I know this guy. I say this about him all the time. He can drive a car like this until it's riding on the rims. So he somehow has a way of being able to handle the slippy, slidey cars. But he
He's having a bit of trouble getting past Diogo,
yeah.
having to take a very wide line.
That's one of the challenges of multi-class is having to navigate all of
Yeah,
that, and you lose so much precious time doing that.
can do.
Emba, on the other hand, his times have been getting pretty consistent the last few laps, all
Yeah,
in the 139s.
yeah. I've seen him do better, but this is it's not the fastest, but it is consistent
It is,
and
and that
it's
matters a
reliable. I
lot.
think now I am looking at Avalarion's lap times, and most of them are much higher
Yep.
on average than M bars. So I'm predicting that these guys will probably finish in the same order that they are now. Which is no shame. There are drivers of all different levels of skill and commitment and time to practice, and so I think in this particular rivalry, I think Embar's going to be the one who comes out on top.
Yep.
I think that Sheikah, Nemesis, Chris, Xdude are a league above that
In,
in terms of their, let's say, skill level. I think that Chris and Dude are very much a league apart from everyone else, yeah,
indeed, they are.
except of course, the GT3 drivers. Top Hat is a very good driver,
Yep. And
which
AMS
means
AMS dude just set the fastest lap on lap 15 of
nice.
the race. The 135.
Well,
That's
fresh
fast.
tires will do that for you.
They do, and having only half your fuel tank, so that'll get it to
Yeah,
you.
so Top Hat, Optimal, and Finn are certainly excellent drivers. I think those are the 5 best drivers that we've got here by some margin. The
Yep,
only
as
trouble with
Sheikah comes
multi-class is that
around.
you don't. Only trouble with multi-class is you don't really appreciate the skill of the lower class drivers because they're slower.
Well, yeah, they have a lot to work out for. They got to look out for cars that just show up out of the blue. Two. They
I've
look
been
in
in
their
that
mirror
position
two
as well.
corners before, and there's nobody there. And next thing you know,
Yeah,
2 corners later, it's right on side of them.
in that previous race, the thing with the Audi multi-class, there were 2 occasions on which I instinctively looked behind me just in time to see an LMP just about to zoom up where I was about to leave no space.
Right. It was fun. It was definitely fun to watch when those cars were, and the overtaking was so much more. I mean, it was every 5 or 6 laps. Now it's every every
7-ish
7 laps.
laps.
So it's a little bit more of a gap
Bars
there.
coming up on a couple of
Yep, on Venom and
stragglers.
Diago. Yep, he should make quick work of him right here.
Embar
Wow.
skipped the grass and caught himself a penalty. Yeah, you're supposed to ride the inside curve. You can't play it even more dangerously and then go to the grass on the inside of the curb on the inside of the track. That's just a little bit too much chutzpah.
Now I'm on board with Venom. He's caught up to Diogo.
Yeah, yeah, they're the ones that Embar just passed.
Now he hasn't pit yet. He's almost out of fuel, and his tire situation is looking where they need to be changed. It's time to put some new
Yeah,
rubber under that car. But I think he's looking at just staying close to Diago, hoping Diago doesn't pit the next time around. Because if Diago doesn't pit the next time around, and Diago's got
he's
plenty
not
of
going
fuel.
to.
Oh, he's got plenty of fuel and tires. So he
Yeah, there's no reason for Diogo to pit.
so
You
the
pronounce
good
it
news is
Diago
that will
because it
put
looks like It looks like the letter O. I don't know enough about Spanish, I'm sure. Or Portuguese, I do apologise. Sorry guys, Portuguese. Don't know how it's pronounced. I'm just going to say Diogo until someone tells me otherwise.
Yep. But what'll be interesting is, so Venom should pit this time around. The good news is he'll come out with a fresh set of tires. He might be able to make up some time on the track so that when Diogo pits, he may come out, right up with him again or in front of him. But Diogo is not going to pit for a while.
No,
so,
he's not going to. We're looking at cars of a similar pace whose strategy isn't really comparable.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think that if this is their similar pace and look at Venom's tyre wear, I think that overall maybe Venom's going to come out on top. That's a bit of a guess. I'm not going to say that I'm calling it or anything.
Well, he's definitely going to have to pit twice because this will be his first pit. And even if he fills all the way up, he's only going to get to lap 30.
Yeah.
Diogo has still got a quarter tank of fuel. He could probably do this in one stop. So either he's fuel saving, because his tires look perfect, unless he already pit and we just missed it.
He's not fuel saving, I'll tell you that much.
He may have gone into the pits and got fresh tires and just a dash of fuel. So
I believe that's what he did, either getting a bit of fuel or none at all.
And that makes sense because his tire. There's no way his tire wear could be that good after 16 laps on this course. Yep. So that was AMS dude that just roared past Diogo. And Venom's back out on soft tires. All right, so looks like AMS dude is still up there with about close to an 8-second lead over Chris, who has almost a full second penalty on him for something we missed.
Yeah, why is he holding on to that penalty? Let me quickly explain something for the viewers at home. The game issues penalties for cutting corners, but people can abuse this by just holding on to the penalty for the whole race and just letting it naturally pay itself off when they take corners. In braking zones, for example. The ESGT's common rulebook makes it pretty clear that if you get one of these shortcut penalties, you have to pay it off usually at the next available straight. He's looking at a maybe 10-second penalty for holding on to this.
So he's carrying this one all the way through every lap. Yeah. So that'll be something that the stewards will have to take a look at the end of the race. And
he's gonna get 10 seconds at least. Or it's possible that because Nemesis, the organizer, is also racing, he's not going to be able to issue a stop-go penalty, which would be another possibility.
Oh, that's true. So it may just come off the time. Now, Chris has got a 40-second gap on Nemesis. So
I haven't been authorized to, but I could type in stop-go penalty. I'm not going to.
I'm not doing it. I was never given that permission. That'll be the end of my streaming career for sure. The Nemesis has got to go do something. I mean, his times are dropping now. He just did a 140. So he's a second and a half slower. Because look at those front tires.
I think it's possible because the lap before that was really good, really really good. He might be thinking that last one was a fluke, but it's not looking like a fluke.
And what's interesting is I'm watching the gap time to Sheikah, and Sheikah's slowly eating away at it.
Actually, no, he's going to pit this lap because it's the halfway point.
Well, yeah. It looks like he's going to do this one as a two-stop race. Maybe he's going to go a little further to try to have fresher...
Oh. Has he had a pit stop yet at all?
I don't think so.
In that case, he'll do a one-stop because this is the halfway point.
That's true, but he might go a little longer so he can have some fresher tires towards the end. I don't know. We'll see what his pit
I don't
strategy
know.
says.
I doubt it. I mean, I think I know Nemesis past form, and I think he's going to do it by the book and just dissect his race neatly into two. We'll
Well,
find
let's
out in
see.
10
I'm
seconds.
watching on board. I'm watching him right now. Let's see if let's see what he does here. Does he come in? I don't see any other cars really next to each other on the track anywhere. It looks like it's all pretty
Here he
well spread
goes.
out.
Yeah, yeah. By the book. That's how he does it.
All right. Well, as a matter of fact, there should be.
Sheikah's in as well.
I only see 10 arrows on the track, which means there's got to be a couple of cars that are right up next to each other. I'm just gonna roll down the order here. Finn's got a half-second penalty on him right now.
Yeah,
Um,
he's not paying it off either, is he? Where have
well,
they learned all these bad manners? I think what happens sometimes is a driver sees another driver breaking the rules and he thinks, well, if he can do it, so can I.
well, is it
Not
possible that
knowing,
he's
not
just gonna pay it
realizing.
off before the start finish, or do they have to pay it off on a straight? Is there a penalty zone that was
Let me
designed?
double check for you.
Because maybe they just have to pay it off before they cross the start finish on the lap that they're on. And if any of them are listening to the stream,
So the standard rules of ESGT say that you have to pay it off at the next available straight, and there seems to have been no exception posted to the rules. And
yep.
if there were an exception, there would also be a track map showing the penalty payoff
Yep.
zones.
Well,
There's been no
Finn
such map
basically
posted.
went through and didn't slow down, so he
Yeah,
still carried that
there's
penalty
no
through the
such
lap.
map.
It's interesting.
There's no such map that's been posted, which means that these guys are in a bit of trouble. Guys out there, if you do any racing leagues, make sure that you've read their rules and regulations beforehand. It's quite
Yep.
important.
All right. Well, everyone is really spaced out on the course right now. AMS dude just lapped Avalarian. So the first GR1 car has gone a lap down to the leader at lap 22. So you predicted it. You figured that would be about the time, about lap 25, when the leader would
I
catch
said
him.
between lap 20 and lap 22, and I was absolutely slap bang on the money there.
Look at you. You're so smart. I love it.
Was that a PewDiePie voice?
I don't know what that was.
Exactly
I've
like
heard that dude's name before. All my kids listen to that guy, but I never once watched him. So, or I don't know, whatever it is.
I think you have to have a particular sense of humour to enjoy it. It's a bit
I imagine.
batty, let's say. A bit batty, yeah.
Well, AMS dude is just killing it right now. 16-second lead on second place. I don't think he doesn't have the fuel to make it or anything, so he's going to have to pit again. And so is VLX. Nemesis, however, it doesn't have to, but he's a full minute and a quarter behind him. So, AMS dude has got plenty of room.
Let's just. I think we can consider Fives more or less as being in a sort of. I suppose he's competing with Sheikah. I think realistically they're the ones who are racing against each other, and it's more
Who's that now?
a strategic. Nemesis and Sheikah,
Yeah.
they're kind of having a race of their own, and it's more of a strategic battle than a wheel-to-wheel battle.
Now, the interesting thing, that Toyota, the battery system in it, because it's a hybrid, unlike the
Yes.
Tomahawk, that battery system gives that Toyota.
You mean the LM55?
What's Nemesis?
Nemesis
Oh,
is
yeah, he's driving
driving-
the Mazda, sorry.
Yeah.
But that Toyota, the 50, has that battery system in it that gives it a lot of oomph coming out of the line. And the regeneration of it is significantly
It's very high.
quicker. Yeah, it comes back.
Yeah.
It's not like the Porsche. The Porsche has all that power coming out of the corner, but that battery runs out really fast. So this
Mm.
Toyota is a great car for this type of track because he's got all of that stored energy, and it recoups pretty
Yes.
easily under braking. So
Yes. I think that it spits out the power to the wheels less effectively than that class, but it never runs out.
yep. But if I remember, is this Toyota this is the TSO 50 hybrid? So
This is
this
the
is the all-wheel drive,
50.
right?
I think so.
Okay, interesting.
I could look it up. I looked up the Audi, but the internet didn't really want to tell me. I only found out because I found a picture of the Audi R18 with its nose cone taken off and saw some, what do you call them?
Some drivetrain,
The drivetrain like axle things, whatever you
right?
call them.
CV joints or whatever
Uh,
they call them.
yeah, the things with the universal joints.
Yeah,
I'll kick myself
differentials,
when
I
I
guess,
remember the
is
name.
probably what would be up. I don't
Yeah,
know, whatever it is.
yeah.
Well, it looks like Sheikah's about to get past Finn here, still carrying that penalty, which is pretty impressive. I know he's not supposed to be, but let me say
Mm,
why I think that's impressive. That
go on.
that Finn is carrying that penalty for so long. It means he's hitting every corner at race
Oh, I see
speed.
what you mean.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He's not
he's a good
messing
driver.
up.
Let's
He's
let's not
doing well.
let's not forget that he is a very good driver. He just whoa.
Whoa! Jeez!
Yeah, that was
Emboss should
Mbar's
have
fault.
not
Yeah,
have done that. Now
yeah.
he's got AMS just
It
passing
looks
him.
like. I mean, it doesn't look like any harm's been done.
So AMS is catching up to the fifth place GR1 car. So he's about to put Emba a lap down here, probably within this next lap. He's right there with him.
Yeah, within this next corner, I think is more like
Yeah,
it.
he just closed up huge. Holy
Oh
crap!
no!
Oh,
Whoa!
what the heck
They
happened
can't.
there?
I think that they can't see each other, so they're driving, and the game tries to reconcile their position in a way that we understand, which leads to a little bit of
Yep. Maybe AMS, maybe dude
curious
didn't know he was
entanglement.
there.
Yeah, well, I don't think he did, because otherwise they'd have crashed, and they didn't. We just saw their cars sort of
They
merge together.
matrixed each other through the corner.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
I think they
goodness.
can't see each other.
Let's see how Top Hat's back up to the front. Oh, commentator's curse. As soon as I get on his car, he goes off the track and Optimal takes the spot from him. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Top Hat. It wasn't on purpose.
Okay, X-Dude is catching up to someone else in a Group 1 car. It's Sheikah, I think. Pretty sure that's Sheikah. Yeah.
It's yeah, it is Sheikah. He's
Sheikah,
about to put
yeah.
Sheikah a lap down.
hmm This is an absolute domination from Dude. I wonder if it's... I don't want AMS to take this wrongly, but I hope that his teammate isn't nearly as good, because that means we'll actually have an interesting second half.
Yeah, I was just thinking the very same thing when you said that. I was like, I hope the other guy's not as fast or no one's going to have a chance.
Chris coming
Yes, sir.
in with a tiny amount of fuel left.
Oh,
Fresh tyres. I'm guessing he's gonna fuel
well, he had
a
almost
load
nothing
half.
left in the tank, so let's see what he does here.
I think he might be coming up with about, yeah, over half, less than 2/3.
Yep. I think he anticipates making another stop before the end of the race. Oh no, wait. No, it is only.
No,
Yeah,
I think that he's gonna play it conservatively, resigning himself to second place, but not wanting to risk another stop that would cause him possibly potentially to come in third.
yep.
I'm not sure though. I find it difficult to get inside the heads of these drivers sometimes, and it certainly looks like it's going completely all out. You know, you should never give up in a race. It's never
Indeed.
over till it's over. And who knows, X-Dude might have a horrible, horrible crash when trying to lap somebody and lose, I don't know, 50, even if he loses 15 seconds. I mean, it would take about 3 spectacular crashes for there to be something.
So
Did you see
Finn's
that?
still carrying that penalty down to 3/10 now.
A replay. Do a replay so
Okay.
that we can see
Which car?
Chris trying to get past optimal.
Okay. Let's do that. Oh, I just got it past it. I didn't quite get far enough back. Oh no, there we go. Oh, he just goes right around the outside into the grass.
Yeah.
That was close.
Good.
That was close. Holy cow.
Embar is catching up with Sheikah. He's actually going to potentially overtake the guy. What's going on with Sheikah?
I don't know.
I mean, sure, Embar is due for a pit stop in a few laps. However,
Yeah, Sheikah went in and did his pits a few laps back, about 7 laps ago.
But why is he driving slowly right now? You would think that on fresh tyres he would stand a bit of an advantage.
Well, he may be playing it safe. He may know that Mboss still needs to pit, and he's probably going to try to make this. He was probably trying to do this as a one stop, so he's holding onto his tires and fuel to get to the end, knowing the other guy's gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sitting in a podium position right now, and he's gonna play it safe and be like, I'm gonna make these tires and fuel last. I don't want to pit again. I don't want to give this guy the spot.
Yeah, because he's playing a strategy game against Nemesis, and that'll be what he's focusing on. I don't think he considers Embar enough of a threat to actually react to.
And he may even move aside when Embar catches up to him and let him by.
Yeah, just to avoid the risk of them both going off. Let's have a look. Meanwhile, in Group 3, Optimal and Top Hat are running pretty close again, with Finn just behind them, still carrying his penalty.
Yep, actually it's gone up. It was at 0.3 and now it's at 0.8, so he's gotten another penalty somewhere.
He's been accruing some penalties. Ooh. I think VLX aren't going to... the thing is that VLX, it's not like these are rookies as far as ESGT is concerned. VLX team, and including Finn, have been around for long enough to know better. So, yeah.
You know what I'm noticing?
I don't think that...
Sorry. I'm noticing something. So Emba just gets past Sheikah.
Yeah.
But what I'm noticing is, and maybe this is something Emba doesn't know, that R18, I think that's the diesel, right?
I can't say.
I can't remember. But he is shifting that thing all the way up in the RPMs. That thing loses all of its torque at like about halfway up the RPM, at about like 6,000 or 7,000. Or is that the diesel I'm thinking of?
7,000. Its peak power, as far as I know, is fairly high up in the rev range.
I might be thinking of a different the other one, because there's two of those.
Right
maybe it's the non-hybrid is maybe the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, so the peak power Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Its peak power appears to be at about 5,000 revs.
Yeah, and he's running it all the way up, so he's losing all that power and using more fuel. Now
Yeah, you're right.
Sheikah got let him by, but Sheikah is still right with him, running in his slipstream, and
Hmm.
maybe that was his plan. As AMS dude is coming up behind them to put them yet another lap down.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it may
Um.
not be another lap down. I think AMS dude pit, right? So now he's just passing them again.
Yeah.
To put them one lap down. But I think Sheikah is sitting there,
It's an
maybe
easy
just following
oversight
Emba
to
to save
make
fuel.
because if you look at the power band graphs that the game gives you, it doesn't show like up to the. It seems it doesn't show up to the maximum revs. It just shows up to the maximum sort of relevant revs.
What? Look at all this going on here. Oh my gosh.
It's
Three
crazy, isn't it?
GR1s all going around Venom who goes into the pits. That
Yeah.
was a whole lot of action going on right there. Oh my goodness. That was crazy. I'm surprised that all worked.
Yeah, well, part of it is because
Oh, whoa.
Dude and
AMS dude
Embark,
almost
and
shoved
as we've
Emba off the track. I don't
no,
think
he
he really.
didn't, because as we've already discovered, they can't see each other, which
Yeah,
means that they
that's what I'm saying.
can't
He didn't
physically
know he
interact.
was there for sure.
Yeah, well, they can't shove each other off. It only looks that way because the
Yeah.
game is trying to communicate to us that they're not actually going through each other,
Yep.
even though they are.
Now AMS dude is going to be due for a pit stop here in a couple of laps, so we should see these boys get their lap back when he goes in. Well, Mbaw's going to pit soon. Actually, that's I was looking at the wrong car. Um, yeah, Mbaw's going to be pitting probably this this time out. He might go one more lap. But whatever he does, it looks like Sheikah definitely has what he needs to get through the race. So Emba, when he pits, that's going to move him into fourth. Uh, he should come out in front of Avalarian because he's got 38 seconds uh, to him. So he should be able to pit in and out and still come out ahead of him and maintain fourth position or fifth position. How's that stuff looking back there? Let's take a look at Optimal and see what he's got. So he's got Top Hat in front of him. Top Hat's got a little bit more fuel. They both got about decent. They've got decent tires. Optimal's tires are a little worse for wear. And Nemesis is gonna try to make quick work of those guys through the corner. I never did Nemesis ever pit and get new tires, or is he still out? He pit right? Oh yeah, he did. He pit right at lap 20. That's right.
Sorry, halfway through the race, we get to. Let's let's focus on. It's hard to say. Let's focus on Top Hat, so we can see how Optimal is managing to keep up with him, because I think that's where some action is definitely going. If you
All
look
right.
at them, you can see. Let's see. There's only a difference of 1 second between them, which sounds like a fair amount of distance, but it's enough for Optimal to be holding on to slipstream. Now, oh, that's weird. Okay, sorry, there was some kind of glitch. I saw Top Hat pop onto the glass, but then pop back onto the track. It's just a lag thing, no biggie. Yeah. Now let's see. So Top Hat's tire wear is a little bit better than Optimal's. What tends to happen is that when there's a chase going on, especially if there's a battle, is that the car ahead. Oh, whoa! Oh no, sorry, another lag jump. Okay, so the car ahead tends to have an easier time of tyre wear, and the car behind has an easier time of fuel saving. They're both being lapped yet again by Dude. Going past Top Hat now, and managing to. They're all keeping their noses clean through there. Top Hat has managed to gain time. He's now 1.5 seconds ahead So it looks like he's averted disaster there, skimming across the curves here in the S's. Yep, he's comfortably ahead, but it yet remains to be seen with 12 laps to go in this first stage, whether his patience is going to pay off, and if he's going to be able to make a last-ditch run for the lead of the second class. Hi Chris, there you are.
Hey, I'm here. Sorry, technical difficulties.
Just being lapped again. Yeah, we're just being lapped again in the second class. And
Yep, I see Sheikah about to pass Top Hat here.
Woo! Top Hat. Oh, he did not do well there. And suddenly, there we go. All that advantage that he's built up has been snatched away again because of a clumsy lapping.
So now I'm riding on board with Optimal. Let's see what he can make happen here now that he is right there in his slipstream. Let's go inside the car and get a view from the driver's perspective as he chases Top Hat down.
It's lovely stuff watching these drivers, because you know how you and I know how difficult it is to follow another car so close around such corners as these.
Well, yeah, you get the downforce off the car, so it's it doesn't stick as well in the corners, and you get that.
It's not the downforce you get. It's like, imagine that the first car is punching a hole in the air, and the car behind has to deal with, let's call it a near vacuum, which means that your aero does not function at all.
Yeah, and so you don't have the downforce. Oh, here he goes. He's making his move.
He's doing it. He's going to cut round the best corner in the world as we know it.
Nice job. Oops.
One little bit of contact, but I think nothing that could be really considered dirty. It's funny because they were being lapped by Embar, who'd also been lapped by X-Dude. Lapception, should we call it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what we want to call it. Lapping the lap of the laps? I don't know. That doesn't even sound right either. Top Hat's not giving up. Look at him. He is all over him.
Yeah, he wants that position back. I think he's going to get it too.
Now, just a reminder to all of the viewers that aren't 100% familiar and are just enjoying this fantastic racing.
That's lovely. I would get a replay now, because what happened is that Top Hat sort of skidded a little bit across the front of Optimal, went a little bit too far, but that also set him up perfectly to play defense into turn 2.
Yeah, here, let's watch that. Let me go back and take a look at that move. So he comes through, gets a little sideways, but that takes him right to the inside corner, which is what he needed.
Yeah, poetry in motion. I love it.
It was nice, definitely nice. So the interesting thing is these guys aren't just fighting to win in 10 more laps from now, because the race is only half over. They have to, as good teammates, they're trying to get as much of a gap between them and the other cars.
To give their teammate every opportunity that they can do.
Yep.
They're racing essentially to maximise the luck of the next guy.
Exactly, because that's the race that's gonna count towards the end, is how they finish.
Yeah. And then in that second stage, only then will the old Alan Prost adage come into play that the best way to win a race is as slowly as possible. That was a nice move, a passing move, a lapping move, and Nemesis has managed to unlap himself and then get relapped again. That was nice.
I'm looking at okay, I saw that. Alright, so Finn is still carrying 0.2 of a second. And it's really unfortunate because that means his teammate. Who is this teammate again? That's going to be Bielek Sejon.
Uh-huh.
And Sejon now is going to have to carry the penalty that he gets for not bleeding the penalty off into his race.
Probably, yeah. Yeah,
So, like we were talking about, some of these teams are trying to get the biggest gap that they can to increase the
yeah.
luck. This one has decreased the luck of his teammate, and
Yeah,
he
and
may not be
as I was
doing that
saying
knowingly.
before,
Maybe
he's
someone
been
just
around
didn't
long
tell
enough
him.
to know better. Avalerion just got another penalty like half a lap ago, and he paid it off as he usually does, as he should do.
Yep.
And
And
Rooch has
Diago's in
been
the
off
pits,
now.
which is gonna give Venom is still 20 seconds behind him, but Venom is on the straight, so he is not far. Maybe 8 seconds. Okay, 6 seconds back, 7 seconds. So Venom still has an opportunity. He has all the tires. He's still got good tires and enough fuel to make the rest of the race. Um, so
Yeah.
if he counts on Diago making any kind of mistake, he can come in and grab that second to
Have
last
we
spot there.
seen Diago make any mistakes so far in the whole race?
Um, I don't recall.
I can't think of an example. He's been one of the slower drivers in the class, but he's also been very consistent. This has been a sort of clockwork drive from him. I mean, the car he's driving, which is the M6, right? It's a very solid, predictable car to drive, so he's got that going for him.
Yeah. Pardon me.
Hey, Finn's managed to pay off all his penalties.
Oh, an interesting thing. So, one of the guys in our RWB racing group is from. I almost said Puerto Rico. That's not it. See, he's from the same country Diogo is, and
Portugal?
he messaged me privately, letting me know that it's Diogo, because Diogo is
Yes.
also his brother's name. So now we know how to
Okay.
properly say it.
Okay, so
Diogo.
I've been accidentally saying it right all this time. Good to know.
Well, we have been shown the error of our ways. Diogo, we apologize. You are now Diogo for the rest of the race, at least the next 8 laps.
Yeah, you kept calling him Diego when I once said it was Spanish.
I know. I was thinking of Dora the Explorer, right? Her brother or cousin or whatever was Diego, wasn't it? I don't
I don't know, man. I don't watch it.
know. Well, let's see. Let's take a look up here. Let me take a look at Top Hat and see how he's doing. Um, so Optimal's still right there with him. Um,
Yeah, that's really
you know
close.
what? Both of these two are going to have to pit. They're not going to have enough fuel to
Um,
make this race, and
yeah, that's perfectly true.
and
They're
Finn,
gonna
he's
sprint to the
not. I don't
finish.
think he's
It's
going
gonna
to
be
make it
fantastic.
either. So I'm guessing. I mean, Top Hat
Everyone else's
and
race is basically irrelevant. It's these guys that are definitely the ones to watch. Because I mean,
well,
everyone else, I
so
think pole
so
position is guaranteed.
that's true. The interesting thing is Optimal has like ever so slight, like a 16th more fuel in his car than Top Hat. So if they both go straight to the diamond with their fuel,
Yeah.
there is a
Yes.
chance that Optimal is going to come out either right on top of Top Hat
Or
or
slightly ahead.
yeah, it's anyone's guess. It depends on how it looks when they get to pit lane. I mean, both of them have their well, see, right now the light was flashing on Top Hat's car. It hasn't started flashing yet for Optimal. So if that tells you, it
Yes.
still hasn't. So he might
Yeah.
have a couple liters less fuel that he needs to take to get to the end of this race. So it's going to be a this 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 position change is going to come down to the pits.
They're gonna
There,
get
finally,
lapped again.
Optimal's light just came on. So that's how much different they have. Oh! Top Hat did
Oh,
not see
that
the MS2 there.
If
And look at
Optimal
that
hadn't
Optimal right
bumped
to the
into
bumper.
Top Hat, he would have had the position.
Yep.
He
I
may
believe
have
Top
been
Hat is
result
going
if
to
he
come into the
didn't.
pit the next couple corners. Optimal's going to follow him in.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're both going to come in. Bit of a messy turn. That's a difficult section to get right.
All right, here we go. See, Top Hat should go
Bit of
in.
slide
He's
there.
staying out.
No! The
He's going to do one more lap.
crazy man.
Maybe he was hoping that Optimal was going to have to pit.
No, I don't think so because undercutting generally lends a
Well,
little bit
oh,
of
it
an
says fine.
advantage
Oh,
to
it's
the
final
undercutter.
lap because the
Oh, it's
GR1s
the,
have
of
already gotten
course.
up there. I didn't even
That's
think
it.
about
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I didn't
So
think about it. Totally forgot about those other cars are like laps
look
ahead of
how much
them.
they're short shifting. Look how
Yeah,
low
I
their
like. I
revs
don't
are.
even see RPMs on that Corvette. Like he is just
They're
keeping it so low.
having a conserve off is what they're doing. They're
Optimal's
having a
got enough
conserve
fuel to
off.
go after him. Let's watch this and see if Optimal can make a move on him.
Yeah. Oh, they bump. Did you see that bump?
I did a little bit, tiny bit.
Bumped
Okay,
into.
here's the move. Go inside. Oh,
Yeah.
he's got GR1 right behind
Oh,
him. That could
come
ruin
on,
all of
man.
his chances.
You
Nemesis
get a
just needs
shortcut
to
penalty for that, I
back
think.
off and let them have their race.
Yeah.
But he's going
Yeah.
for it.
Oh
He's
no.
going for it all the way
Yeah.
outside. Oh, Optimal, go inside. Crossover move. No, he doesn't make it sick. Oh, he had the corner. Oh, this is stressful. Okay, he's got him coming up to this corner. He's inside. Oh, Top Hat closes the door on him.
Yeah. Top Hat's been a very good
Oh,
duelist.
oh, I was gonna
It
say, why
doesn't.
did it say
Yeah.
finish the race? But okay, that's weird. That
I
kind
love
of, I
that
think
even
that threw him off.
though I love that they're fighting so hard, even though it really doesn't matter to those two.
Oh,
It's
Optimal
essentially.
goes around. Oh
Well,
no!
that's it. You see that's why it's kind of foolish to do that when there's a whole another half of the race yet to go.
Well, this is the last corner,
I
and his race
know.
is over.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, if he'd kept his cool and just stuck behind him, then it would be the same situation going into the second stage.
Yep. Now that
But
was a larger
he
gap.
gambled everything.
Yep.
Yes, he gambled everything and lost. I was just saying there as well that Top Hat, I think, out of those two, is the superior duelist.
Yep. I'm right on board with Diogo, and let him finish up as he's coming towards the last corner now. And Venom will be right behind him. Looks like there's another Group 1 car out there still.
It's worth noting that Nemesis' strategy paid off a lot better than Sheepers did. 14-second gap. He's probably going to pass that information on to his teammate and say, look, the one stop works.
Yep. Oops. Come back. All right, so that's a victory for the Group 1 cars for AMS, dude. He got clean races, fastest lap, and everything. Congratulations, buddy. Well, that was something. Whew. So that
Anyone
puts
else gonna get the?
CSX at in first position on the next race for their group,
Yep,
and AMS, or not
sure.
Top Hat, but CSX will be at the front, and AMS will be at the front of their division,
Yep.
going to the next stint.
Got some comments from the drivers here. Dude says that he's been in a race with himself. Stinky is going to be the guy hosting stage 2. Is that Stinky Bug?
Stinky
Mr.
something.
Leash?
I do know that. So let's go find Stinky Bug's room. And also, um,
That's AMS
Nemesis.
underscore Stinky.
Nemesis is going to come join us in the yeah,
Commentators booth.
AMS. It's AMS underscore Stinky.
That's correct.
So I'm going to jump in that room,
I think
and
I'm
I'm going to go
already
ahead and
friends with the guy
invite
because
our at Nemesis, the race promoter. He wants
yeah,
to join us in the next stint in the commentary. So I will
yep.
go find him here in a moment once
Just
the track loads in.
AMS.
Pardon me.
People have weird usernames, man. I can hear you.
Okay. Let's go find. Let's go find the man and bring him in here.
Yes. Thank you, Stinky, for adding me. Yeah, he's been in a couple of races that I used to organise with Nemesis, as he's now called. Yeah, fast dude. He was driving a Group 3 McLaren, I think, when and man, did he make that machine sing. It's a difficult car to get into, that McLaren 650S, the Group 3 car, because it's as tail happy as you can imagine. Um, got very good acceleration. Um, and of course, he
I don't
was
think we have
a.
any post-race interviews for any of the drivers. We didn't get any of that set up
No,
for
we
anything.
might be able to go for that kind of thing for the season proper, but technically speaking, we're just making sure that the format works. I think
Yep.
calling drivers in to say, "Oh, how did your race go? What do you think of that battle with such and such?" I think that might be a little bit much for the time being.
Yeah.
Okay, stage 2. Okay, I hope you can't hear my creaking chair very much.
No, you're good.
Good. I am blessed to have a microphone that picks up only what's right in front of it.
Yes, that's very nice. So I invited Nemesis to our broadcast booth. So we'll see. He might still be getting out of his car and wiping all the sweat off his face from that
yeah,
race, and maybe
give him,
throwing a helmet at
give him a
somebody in the
chance
pits.
to wipe himself down and have a drink,
Yep. Maybe wipe off
rehydrate
all the
himself.
champagne that everybody else was spraying around, and then he can
Oh,
come in here.
that's just adding insult to injury. That is. I think he might just be busy, like figuring out
Organizing.
what
Yep.
everyone's time code is. He's not going to be chatty right now.
All right, so let's see here. Do we have anybody out on track driving around? Oh, Chromadex. I remember that guy from last week. Let's everybody see some practice here. Let's go ahead and bring our cameras up on the track. So Chromadex, um,
Yep.
oh, he's running in that SRT also. So he was on the same team as Avalarian. That's right. So ERS. So Chromadex is
Yeah.
ERS. He's using a
Yep.
different tag. He's using Chromadex, not ERS Chromadex, so we'll just have to
Well,
remember that.
I might be wrong, but I don't think he's in the ERS team. I think he's just, pitching in.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
So there's Siege on now. That was VLX Chris's teammate. So he should be
Yeah.
starting in
You know, this
second.
is I'm not sure. I think this is the first time I've actually seen a Greek driver in this game. Funny enough.
And then there's Shoots. You mentioned him earlier. That's Optimal's teammate from Shoots is Phoenix, right?
Yeah, he's taken the second
Not
stage as opposed
Phoenix.
to the
That's not right.
first. No, it's sort of curious name, hasn't it? Delmar Esport. Right, there's Vlave. He's so here in the Renegade
Oh,
team
you know what I
now.
see happened? It looks like Optimal and Shoots traded stints.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Uh, Now Vlave, I think we can expect to see similar lap times.
Oh, the other Renegade guy, right?
Um,
Yeah.
yes.
And then in fourth, there is RWB Outlaw. He was Venom's partner. Um, I'm really excited to see him out on the race course. During this whole coronavirus thing, his um, his side hustle when he's not racing cars in Gran Turismo has been just keeping him just incredibly busy in real life, and so he was really excited to get back out and get some racing in. So been practicing and everything else, and right behind him is J Rod. Um, he and I are one of the admins and assist Outlaw in managing RWB. So got two really great drivers out here representing RWB. And then VLX Griffin is out here, so that was Finn's companion. Now, the unfortunate thing for Griffin is he's going to have to probably carry those penalties um, with him into the start of the second stint. We'll see what the stewards have to say about that.
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be a bitter pill to swallow, I think, isn't it? Yeah, I'll tell you something. This oh no, commentator's curse. I was just gonna say that John is looking really hot, but then he fouled up the last corner. But you know he's got to find the limits, hasn't he? Because
Yep.
if you're not exploring the limits, then you're never going to fall off the track. But he looked like he was just testing to see how far he could push it out of that last corner. He
Who was
is
that you were talking about?
looking John
Oh, okay.
VLX fella. Yeah.
I got you. All right, looks like they're gonna do
I think
stuck check now.
stuck check. Yes.
And I did get some
I think that
confirmation from the race promoter that they have taken note of the penalty stuff that we noticed earlier. So it'll be
mm,
interesting to see how that plays out uh, for the race and how they start.
look, I just all I'm gonna say is on Finn on what team is it? VLX's behalf. I hope that those 10-second penalties won't accumulate, or at least not too much, because otherwise they'll be hosed.
Yeah, that'll be huge.
Okay, here's a nice gentle rolling start, and away we go.
Yep.
And it
Now I only see
looks
11
like,
cars on the track.
yeah, me too. With the thing is, with the rolling start, it's quite hard to tell if cars are stuck or not. Because if they're stuck,
Well, it looked like Bill
what
Bader was going because I
happens?
saw him accelerating and braking, so he's not just
Okay, that's
driving
fine
around.
then. I think what happens if you're stuck on a rolling start is you keep weaving.
And obviously, Das Cool is not having a problem. He's having fun.
Yeah, that's cool. You could leave the track now. Das would be very cool.
Yep.
Talk amongst yourselves. Ah, there we go.
All right, now we wait and see what happens next here.
I'm gonna go grab myself a drink.
Okay, sounds good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while he's getting his hydration on, we will be getting ready to do another stuck check, make sure everybody's okay. They're going to be setting the starting grid with the gaps from the first race. Uh, and whatever they do with either penalties that will be assessed now or maybe at the end of the race from the previous drivers. And then I believe they're going to put them out on the track and release them uh, in an order. So it'll be interesting to watch and see how this works. But I do believe that they're gonna put the cars in order and then release them when their gap is reached. So we'll see how that goes. We got some cars back out on the track again, so let's go ahead and take a look and see some of them driving around the course. All right, so there's the VLX driver in his Group 1 in his Vision car. There's Stinky.
Hello, hello. I just got done doing the gaps, so I should be able to relay them to the drivers pretty soon.
All right. Well, welcome to the stream, good sir. Nice to have you along.
Yay, I'm here! Woo!
I I know you were busy. You were busy racing in the last race, so didn't want to
Yeah,
bother
I
you with
might have
all
been a
that.
little too busy to commentate, yes.
What? You didn't have anything to say? We've just been going around watching all the cars. So you got the grid order all set up, ready for these guys to get going?
Yeah, I'm gonna relay their timestamps to them as soon as I join the lobby. I have to make sure that everyone's in.
I'll tell you, that
Alright,
was a
so
pretty interesting race to watch. There was a lot going on there, and then everybody got kind of spread out. So,
Alright, so let me type this out. Here are your
yep.
timestamps. Write them down if you have to. Alright. So I gotta ping each person. We're going with Stinky. Here we go. 5 minutes. And C. John. 5 minutes, 33 seconds. Belvica. Belvica is going to be 6 minutes flat. J-Rod. I had to put the flat at the end because it sounds like such an unlikely thing to happen.
Yeah.
6 minutes, 15 seconds. Vlave. 6 minutes, 24 seconds. Chromatics. 7 minutes, 8 seconds. Bill is going to be 8 minutes, 8 seconds. Shoots.
Who's that?
16 seconds.
Pardon me.
That's fine.
So my guess is you'll reset the lobby and then start the new timer, right? So everyone can kind of get set up. Or do you start the race and then have everybody sit on the line because
Yeah, they're gonna sit on the. They're gonna sit in the pit entry,
okay.
in the pit lane, and then they'll enter the pits to fuel their car when their timestamp passes, because they're only going to have enough fuel to go around the formation lap, and that's to prevent them from continuing.
Okay.
So, Daz Cool. Where's Daz Cool? Right here. Daz Cool has 9 minutes, 2 seconds. And Outlaw in the back has 9 minutes, 10 seconds. Alright. Everyone will start in order and enter the pit lane, but not enter the pits. Please review the image I posted in VES info regulations for the area you are to park in. When your timestamp comes, you may enter the pits, but no sooner. Alright. So I'm assuming we already did some stuck checks.
They did one. It did a
Alright.
rolling start, but not every car was in there. There's only 11 cars.
Okay, well there are 11 cars out here right now because
There's
we had a
such
couple of people
yeah.
disconnect.
Yeah.
Are you going to ask if they can join the people who got their teammates?
I'm just streaming it. I didn't want to assume any responsibility in communicating anything to anybody.
Yeah,
No, I
otherwise
got
we
you.
would have given Finn a stop-go penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, but since I was driving, there's no way I could have seen that, and people don't get stuck. They don't get stop-go penalties for not serving their penalty. They get a
Yeah.
10-second penalty at the end.
I mean, I was kind of joking, but it would have been funny.
Yeah.
I saw that. They're both going to get 10 seconds. There's not really anything that you can do about that. Are we live on the stream right now?
Oh, we have been since you got in the lobby.
Very,
Yep.
very much
Okay, cool.
so, yeah.
Yep. We've been live since, I don't know, a
So
couple hours, 2 hours, 26
Petrolhead.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the longest race video
Yes.
in YouTube history.
I mean, it's not as long as our spa race that we did, where we had 2-hour stints, where it was a
Yeah,
6-hour
I'm sure
stream.
I've seen a 24-hour of Le Mans live stream that was longer than 24 hours. I didn't watch it all the way. It existed.
Petrolhead's teammate got disconnected, so I'm going to set a precedent where he starts a minute back from everyone else.
Yeah. Here is Petrol.
Oh wait a minute. Oh yeah, Jack Mia got disconnected. Someone else did too. It was who else was who was the other person that got disconnected? Maybe nobody else did. Oh, Benop did. Benop got disconnected in the Aston Martin. He got disconnected during the race.
I don't think his teammate's coming though, so.
The job soul C finder guy. Okay.
All right. Yeah, Soul of Cinder, yeah. He was supposed to be his teammate, but he never really responded, so I didn't think he was going to come. Anyways, even if Bnop didn't get stuck. So, this is our roster. These are our timestamps. I think we have everything we need. I'm going to ask Stinky, please start when you're ready.
Let me take a look a second here. Okay. Yeah, we do have 12 cars on the track right now.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just missing the one driver, so it looks like everyone's here.
And this is the problem of not being the host. So are you getting tired? Like, are you getting worn out from being in the stream for so long?
No, I don't
I'm
think so.
alright. I just needed a drink.
Yeah, me and Nick were having a good time, and we had to figure out bio breaks in the middle of it. I think we did a pretty good job handling that. So
Hey, I wasn't gonna draw. I was just gonna let that one slip without anyone else knowing. I was covering for you flawlessly, and now you had to say that that's what you did. You know, shameless plug here, but did you know that in Formula XD, one of the yellow flag conditions is the commentator loo break?
the what?
In Formula XD, the yellow flags can be deployed if the commentator needs to go to the loo.
We should totally do that.
No overtakes happen while the commentator isn't there.
Yep. Alright. This should be interesting. This is the first time we've ever done timestamps.
Yeah.
I do have the times here, so I can double check to see if they go when they're supposed to.
A quick reminder to anyone who's watching is that this is a test event. We're just going through the race event to make sure that the format works and that it's easy to follow and that drivers are able to keep up with what's going on. If it all goes catastrophically wrong, we'll play with a couple of options and try and muddle through. Well, fingers crossed, eh?
I mean, that is why it's called Event Zero.
One more stuck check.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with the format so far. It was just people struggling to connect.
Yeah,
which is not within our realm of control.
This dry run so that we can find out how it goes. It'd be very interesting. In fact, I think that the people who are waiting for their time to go into the pits ought to have their traction control temporarily set up, just in case they go on cold tyres, screeching round in a complete spin and smacking into a wall rather than actually getting started. It could happen.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this is stint number 2, and we got everyone's going to do a formation lap here and go around and wait at the.
No, they're doing a stuck check.
This is a stuck.
This is stuck. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stinky decided to do a stuck, which is probably wise.
Considering that every one of them has pretty much failed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they all actually did their purpose in finding it out. So.
Exactly. Okay, everyone's good.
It looks like all the cars are going. Yep. I'm watching the last place car to make sure that they actually go. Belvica.
No, he's fine.
Yep, he's going. Everyone's going.
Alright. That was a clean turn 1, for sure.
Bill Bader is... Yep, there he goes. Okay. Yep, looks good.
Yeah,
man, that's cool. Loves just spinning that car around.
Alright, here we go.
I'm fighting the urge to click the enter button.
All right, so now everyone's going to go do a formation lap and wait at the pit entrance, right?
Near the pit entrance, yes.
Yep, in the pit lane.
I was going to say, because there's going to be there's going to be some cars coming around the track while they're still sitting there waiting to go.
Yeah, but they're not going to be on the racing line.
Yeah.
And they'll be away from the apex of the final corner. I'll please stay away, well away from the apex of the final corner, and don't leave track limits. Stay within the
Doesn't that mean
pit lane.
that there's going to be like this line of cars that's going diagonally across the track, making it impossible for anybody to not crash into them?
No, they're going to stay on the
No.
inside corner, like where pit lane
The
enters.
apex is on the inside.
The pit lane hugs the inside after the apex of the corner, so they're not on the racing line.
Yeah, but if they get up to the apex, then presumably if they're not allowed to be on the apex, they're going to be forming a line across. So, okay, there's probably not enough cars.
Well, I mean, you can have all the cars bunch in one spot because they're all going to be ghosted, so...
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one saving grace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everyone hates ghosting, but that's one good thing about ghosting.
We're talking about ghosting just strictly in the context of this game, right?
Yes. Well, it depends on who's ghosting you. That matters a lot. Alright, I have to exit and re-enter to spectate. Once I get started,
Yonk.
they're moving.
Everyone going? 12th is moving. Let's make sure 12th keeps moving. I'll follow 12th through and make sure it doesn't pass any cars going too much slower. Okay, everyone's
Well, they're
moving
out of
along.
order, so they're going to have to get into order by the time the lap's over. That shouldn't be a problem.
Well, they're all just gonna stack on top of each other in the pit lane, in the ghost realm, and then go into the pits to get their fuel when their time comes up. So we're gonna wait for that 5-minute timer is when the first car goes, correct?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
right, yeah.
So now's the perfect time for anybody that needs to handle their business, who may have just raced for the last hour and a half, to.
Remember, no passing while in the loo.
This is the last.
They're saving as much
right?
fuel as they possibly can. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I see that. Stinky's in 7th gear. What's interesting is it's too bad you can't set the fuel so that they go into the pit with the amount of fuel that the previous car had at the end of the race. Right? Like
that would be interesting.
Because some of them had more fuel than others.
At low revs, some of these car engines are making me think of like World War II bomber planes.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, except for Vlav, is all in 7th, and same with J-Rod. They're all in like these really high gears.
I really, really like the
like
hazard lights on the rear of the Audi.
Don't they?
Yeah.
We could get some great photographs out of this first lap if we can save the replay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can save the
replay.
replay.
I forgot to save the replay from the last race.
No, I saved it, don't worry.
Okay. It's alright, I've got it all right here, recording all of this, so... You guys will have this for your YouTube channel to upload to. Right now it's streaming on RWB's YouTube and Facebook Live, so...
I actually used the replay to figure out the gaps, so that worked out well.
Oh, there you go. Alright, so Stinky's gonna come around here to the last corner in a second, and he should park it right in the pit lane. Let's see how this turns out for everybody.
Yeah.
I will tell you something interesting that Nick and I had to deal with, or not Nick, yeah, Nick, um, was we were watching this battle in the GR3 cars, going, they're gonna have to pit for fuel. There's no way they're gonna make it. We just realized the GR1s went across and counted the final lap, and I was like, oh, they knew. Because we were just
What's
like, they're both gonna have to pit, and this one's got a little bit more fuel than the other one. And we were trying to figure out their strategy, and then we saw the final lap pop up. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
everybody
I
is
should have known because
rolled up in
I
there.
should have
Good.
known because like 2 minutes before that Audi multi-class race, I figured out that I would only have to do what was it, like 45 laps or something instead of 52 or whatever it was, and
Yeah, that's when you're in the lower class. Two things you have to watch for is hazardous passing and actually trying to figure out how long you're going to race.
Look at everybody stacking up now. They're all getting on top of each other,
yeah,
trying to.
disgusting, isn't it?
John's like, I'm gonna get an extra fender. Now Dask is trying to
They're
get.
all
They're all looking to
trying to be like a
get.
tiny little bit further ahead. It's
They're
this is
literally
vulgar.
all stacked in there. Here come the rest of the Group 1 cars.
This is lovely.
This is
It's
awesome.
you know what it's a beast with 6 hatchbacks.
Yeah.
Look at them all stacked up. Petrolhead is sitting back there, like, not wanting to be involved, I guess. We'll see how this works out. Okay, 30 seconds. So who goes in first? What's the order?
That would be Stinky.
Okay, so
I'll call them
Stinky's.
off when they go in.
Okay.
I'll say the timestamp too.
Now,
Stinky's
this
at 5.
should be all automatic. It's the
Who's
driver's
after Stinky?
responsibility
I'll just wait.
See
to get
John.
the timing right. But it's the organiser's responsibility to
I gotta
make
find
sure that they
Stinky.
are
Where
getting
is he
off
in
at
all
their right
this?
time.
He's
Okay, I
in there.
found
He's in
him.
fourth. Okay, 4, 3,
So,
2,
fake
1,
silence for the
go.
concentration.
There he goes.
Go.
All right, now
Yeah.
C. John is gonna go at 6 or 5:33.
Yeah, Stinky's has a
It's
huge advantage. His
fueling up.
teammate just killed it. That was
Yep.
crazy. We were actually commenting that we hope Stinky is not as fast so that some of the guys can catch up to make the race more
Oh no,
interesting.
he is.
Stinky
He
is-
is that fast. He is
Okay.
certainly that
He
fast.
is.
But
and
C.
he's
John
still
is
spinning,
apparently
but-
faster than his teammate. So, okay. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Belvica would be next, and he is at 6 minutes flat. So yeah, there's a big gap between the top three.
They're all filling up on gas. Okay. This makes for a very interesting stream setup, trying to get all this together.
Okay,
Bill,
then
he's
J-Rod
right, he's right on the mark.
J-Rod's
Taking
next.
hits.
Okay.
at 6:15.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going.
Okay, he didn't go. Okay,
Go,
well
J-Rod.
that's his choice.
There he goes. Okay. Who's next?
Lave. Lave is at 6:24. And
Where,
Chrometics
where is Chromatic?
is at 7 minute 8 seconds.
Okay.
Quite some time.
There's going to be cars
All right,
passing them coming up here in a couple of corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't get penalties. It's not yellow flag, is it?
It will cause a yellow flag, but they're not going to get a penalty for passing a lapped car.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
they're considered to be part of the accident. You know, you don't get a penalty for passing a car that's involved in an accident.
Who's
That's
going next?
Okay.
ridiculous.
It's Chrometics. And then now Bill
Yeah.
is going to go in at 8 minutes 8 seconds, so he has a minute.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and give some love to the drivers that are out on track just to see how their gaps are going.
Yep.
So
This is
Stinky
an
looks
interesting
like he's about,
setup.
yeah, he's got 31.9 second gap to C. John. who's got a 34.3-second gap to Belvica now. And he's actually, Sejon is about to pass Chromadex, and he does.
You know, I will say this works out a lot better than the other system we used to use. Wouldn't you say so, Nick?
By system, you mean the one where they go into the pits and then they're not allowed to touch the button?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like really instinctive to press that button. And secondly, you know, it's just a little bit fiddly for the chat message to be delivered, because it's quite a fiddly thing to type in the chat message. Oh, there goes another one.
Now
Yep.
I do see one problem is during these first few laps, these Group 1 cars can't pass each other in that last turn because it's a yellow flag. And I've seen so
That's a
far
good point.
twice where they look like they could have tried to make a move, but it would have given. Do you have the penalties on for passing under flags?
Yeah, flag rolls are on, so
Yeah,
the only
so
way
they.
you could do that is if flag rolls are off.
Yep. And so Vlav, who was right behind J Rod, couldn't make the pass
Right.
out of the last turn because it was in a yellow flag. So that's one thing to think about when you're rerunning these starts. Oh,
Whoa!
wow! Bill Blatter almost lost it. Got a 3-second
Yeah.
penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, J Rod's
Oh.
trying to go around and gets in the wall.
Yeah. That was
Is
close
everybody on
then.
track yet, or is there still
Like,
somebody waiting?
Yeah, there's one
it's
person
just petrol
remaining.
head. Um, I take it that petrol head is so far behind because his teammate didn't actually participate.
His teammate ended up getting disconnected, so if you get disconnected, your teammate is allowed to start 1 minute behind everyone else. That's the
Okay.
precedent that I'm setting here.
But it's been a lot
Okay.
longer than one
Yep.
minute. Oh, behind the last person. Okay, I got you.
Yes.
Yes. Not the last one in your class, but the last
Right.
one overall.
So Petrolhead's in the pit now, filling up. So should be good to go. All right. So out on track, Stinky's put him a few laps down, which was about where they were beforehand. These AMS guys are fast. Oh my gosh.
Bill Bader's got a penalty. He's just paid it off.
Yep. I tell you what, if we can get like the right amount of people together into a race like this, it would go so smoothly in comparison to
Yeah.
the past. It's just that those connection issues just make it completely messed up. But we managed to pull it off, so.
Yep.
And they're starting with their gaps, so, race continued.
Let's see.
And it didn't take that
See
long.
how things pan out when they're starting off with such a gap. Will there be any compression? Will it just, from a spectating and commentating perspective, I wonder how it will be in this. I'm looking at Belvica at the moment, and I noticed that Nemesis, you were pursuing very steadfastly a one-stop strategy, and that did seem to work for you. So will we be seeing the same kind of thing from Belv? Can you say?
I think you'll have more success with it because if I remember correctly, Belv uses a wheel, and although you can be pretty good with tire wear on a controller, I haven't figured that out yet. So I was really bad on my tires.
Right, so we may be seeing the same strategy, but executed hopefully a little bit more effectively.
Yeah. Well, you
I
know.
just said that just before he spun to gravel.
He was trying to be
Maybe
as
we
nice
shouldn't
as
have
he
You're
said
gonna
could.
have to
anything at
get.
all. We should not
You're
have
gonna have
said
to get used to
anything.
these live commentary superpowers that we all have.
Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding.
the power of Jinx.
Now I'm just rolling down. I'm just rolling down and giving a few seconds to each of the cars just to kind of get a look see at them all. I'm on 11th on Outlaw now. I just switched to him.
So,
Um,
for you commentator guys, and for the people who are watching, I can give you a little insight in how the drivers are feeling, like how intense they are. So, for the AMS and VLX Audis, they're super competitive. Like, dude told me maybe 2 days before this event that he had to win, that this was his race of the year, and I'm pretty sure that the VLX team like practiced for days on end trying to do well in this race. So they're super focused on this. And
nice.
then, in
It does
contrast,
show.
Belvica and I just basically put our team together like last minute, and neither of us practiced
Yeah,
that much.
yeah. I think that's on form for everyone that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at AMS
And
there, and I'm now on Bill Bladder, so he's the top GR3 guy in the Corvette.
hmm
Um, Shoots, which is on uh, the PX7, right? He was Optimal's teammate. About nine
yes,
Well,
seconds
no,
back.
it's not a PX7 team. It's I don't
Delmar
know how to
Esports.
explain that to you.
it's just
It's like some
they're
weird
called
sort of
Delmar Esports.
yeah, it's
And
some sort of
yeah,
like
they're
weird fictional team that sits somewhere between AMS and PX7 and the Dirty Team
Okay.
community. So I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, yeah, that's why they're green and not like purple or blue.
Yep. So
oh, it's good. We need a big green team.
Yes, we do
now
need more green teams.
what's interesting. So RWB. So the with this gap now, the second race, it's a little harder to keep track of who's in what groups because like Petrolhead's showing in 12th, but he's in a Group One car. So like I can't say that the bottom six and the are the GR3s and the top six are the GR1s because now all the lapping and stuff
It's a bit
and
mixed up.
it's all mixed up. So I'm trying to get a grip on.
Mhm.
Like I'm trying to say like
Yeah,
Outlaws.
give it
Yeah, give it another 5 laps
give
and it
it
should be.
two or three laps. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he's only a
Petrolhead
minute behind.
is 8 seconds behind Outlaw, so
hmm
he's got to get past him before he moves up through the GR3s. Then that
Oh,
should straighten it out.
yeah. He'll get there. I mean, it's making like up a second every 10 seconds,
Now I'm watching. The
even
reason
less
I'm
than that.
looking at Outlaw right now, and I'm watching him because one, he's my boss in RWB world, but two is he was starting in last place in the GR3 cars with a pretty significant gap to the car in
Yes.
front of him.
And
So
he's
he has that
already
to
made up the
overcome.
difference to only 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's
That's
nearly
true.
10 seconds, and it it doesn't look like he's making much of a gain on Das Cool. Um, so we'll see. Well, now I can't see that anymore because until Petrolhead gets past him. But
Oh, it's easy.
come
Just
on,
look at
Petrol,
petrol
pedal
head
to
and
the
then
metal. Let's go.
add up two fluctuating numbers together while they're fluctuating. It's easy.
Yep.
Yes, yes. Adding fluctuating numbers is
Well,
easy. Yes.
yeah. Petrol is about 6 seconds ahead of behind Das Cool, so in about a half a lap he's gonna get past him, and then we'll get that part straightened out. So we'll see
hmm
how it
We
goes.
might see Petrolhead get lapped by an Audi coming up here.
Bit of a flash from petrol head's headlights for no apparent reason whatsoever. Guess he knew he was. Well, I was looking at him anyway.
I do like the Motorsport 101 sort of motifs that are going on with that car.
Yep.
And I
Which
feel
car are
like
you
that
talking
has
about?
the
What position?
Petrolhead car.
12th. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
11th.
no,
Oh no, 11th.
he's in
There we go.
11th now.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh, he's
about
caught
to
up to. Yep.
yeah, he's about to be 10th. There we go.
And he's about to get lapped again
And
by
he's
T.
going to
John.
get lapped.
This is quite oh man, this is quite a T John trying to find a way around Dascool. You just pulled it off.
You know what's really funny
Um,
is you're all excited about watching this, and me and Nick have been watching this nail biting turn after turn for like while you were out on the track, like watching you get
yeah.
around all these guys. It was
Yeah,
insane.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
That
so
is one cool
now,
thing about multi-class. There's always passing.
yep. Now Das Cool's put about a second on Outlaw, so and it's growing. So I don't know. Well, we'll see how it goes. There's still 30 plus laps to go. So uh,
Oh, he cut the corner. He's going to get a penalty. He's got to serve it.
who did?
Petrolhead. Oh, he went
Well,
off.
he's probably not going to serve it. Oh,
Yeah,
there
He
he
he's
did.
goes.
serving it.
He did. Maybe all of these guys were watching the stream and hearing us talk about, you better not,
Yeah.
you better not,
You'll get a 10-second.
you'll be screwed. All right, so let's look up at Belvica. Belvica is, who is that was just past him, that he just passed?
That was
Nobody,
Bill
okay.
Bader.
Oh, but look at this. So Vlav has got J-Rod all over him. I'm going to go on board with J-Rod and take a look at J-Rod and see, because he's closed that gap up to Vlav.
Live.
Okay,
Vlad.
thank you. I figured you'd have the answer since it's got a British flag next to him. You'd probably know how I should
No,
say it.
he's not British. He's
Well,
Serbian.
it's Serbian. He's got the UK flag over his.
That just means
Yeah.
that he's got a PlayStation account
okay.
that
I
was
got you.
registered for the UK.
Yeah, something, isn't it that Serbia doesn't support PSN or something like that?
There's some such thing that like PlayStation doesn't like officially do business there. But I don't.
J-Rod is currently
Yeah.
on his best lap right now. He was at a 139, and he's definitely on a. He's not purple, but he is definitely on his best lap. Let's see if he can maintain that. He should probably be in like the mid 139s. Oh, he lost it in the last sector. All right.
John's got a penalty. That scuppered him a little bit. I think he was hoping to.
Oh, and he
slowly
didn't
make
serve it.
laps and,
So
no,
he
he hasn't
crossed.
served it.
He crossed the line with 2/10 on him and did not.
What is it
wait.
with VLX and penalties, though?
They don't like to serve him. That's what it is. Maybe they don't have
Because
penalties.
I think
in
he
Greece.
knows. I think he knows that
knows.
because he's getting a flat penalty for his team, that he best just make it work rather than serve it. I think that's what his strategy is. Because I know that he must know, because I already told Finn and the others about that. So
Yeah, I mean they're all deemed to know, but
Yep.
we know perfectly well that at least some members of the VLX team know, so it's particularly inexcusable.
Yeah.
Just eating 10-second penalties so that they don't have to deal with a 2-second disadvantage is a bit silly in my opinion, but
Well, the good news is,
Yep.
even if with the penalties, they still have a full minute over third place. So it's not as it stands. Even if they had like 3 or 4 of these, if they had like 3 or 4 20-second penalties, they could probably still overcome it. Well, 3, barely, but yeah.
do you think that we should try to come up with a better deterrent for these sort of things?
Well, the
I
higher
think
end
that
drivers,
the
like the VLX
deterrent-
guys and AMS guys, I mean, look at it. He's, let's see, Belvica is a minute 43 behind the leader, and a minute behind second place. The first and second can make all the mistakes they want, and it won't cost them anything. They can make all the penalties they want, and it won't cost them anything. Um, so, the other option is maybe have the penalty carried forward from the first stint to the second stint. So if they got the 20-second penalty, you give it to them before the second stint, kind of like a stop-go penalty. And you would give it to them before they go into the pits to fuel up for the second stint, right?
What if I add it to their gap?
Well, that's what I mean. That you shrink their gap by the penalty amounts, right? So that means they would be
Yeah.
entering the pits. They would sit on track longer before they can go in the pits to start their second stint.
Yeah. I got you completely.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a good idea, but I think that for VES, since we're working with an endurance series, I might have to increase each one of the penalties we would normally give to people by maybe a factor of 2.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's that. I think what's going on maybe is that if they hold on to one shortcut penalty, if they get another shortcut, the first one kind of disguises the second one a bit, so they can sort of be stacked up.
Oh, so they could cut like 3 times in a lap and bleed it.
Yes. Yes, and it'll only look like they've fouled once, maybe. Just thinking out loud here. I don't know. Technically speaking, if they are being penalised accurately, then I think 10 seconds is a perfectly strong, perfectly reasonably strong deterrent. I mean, it's like wasting 2 seconds versus wasting 10 seconds. What are you going to pick?
You know what though? Let me add a piece of not advice, but a thought. If someone like myself was commentating the race, right, and was considered a steward, I'm not advocating for it. I'm just as an example. If the streamers are the quote stewards and they see it, they can throw onto the chat to that driver a stop-go penalty. So they have to go into the pits, stop, and go out without taking any fuel or tires. If they cross the line with a penalty, regardless of if it's a 1/10 penalty that's still there when they cross the line, then they have to serve a stop-go the next time around. That might be more of a hindrance because they have to stop, and that's longer than 10 seconds. Like,
I agree with you.
Go in and not take tires, not take fuel, and come back out.
I agree with you. However, the problem with that is that we only have 2 slots for anyone who's not a driver, which is why I chose to drive. So we could have another car on the field.
But that's an easy enough thing for a guy like me or Nick to do. We're watching the stream. We're watching these penalties happen. And if we see them go across the line with the penalty, we can just call them out on it. And maybe that's the only steward function we have is stop goes on not served penalties.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just, whether or not we'll have, because I know that you're going to be on vacation for the next 2 races. So, I agree with that idea. I just have to think about, availability and who's going to be there and stuff like that. Yep. That's the only thing I have to think about. But I think that's obviously do it definitely a good option. I could do it for the second stint, no problem. Like, I can watch right now, and if I see somebody not do... Now, the only reason I'm not doing it right now is because we haven't written it into the rules yet. But
and you
if
didn't
we
do
had,
it in the first
I would
race,
totally do it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. AMS Stinky's in.
Interesting. Lap 14.
Well, he's out of gas and his tires are all messed up, so...
Yeah.
That's about right.
I find it really interesting that the Audi is really good at this course because I never envisioned this car to be good in this class since it typically isn't, but I guess I'm used to non-tune. Apparently with a tune, this car is quite good.
Okay, I'd like to issue an apology. Earlier I said that I may be wrong, but I thought that Chromedix Eclipse Racing Esports. I am completely wrong. He is in fact a member of the team.
Yes, he's one of the new recruits to ERS, actually.
Yeah, he just doesn't have his tag on his driver name.
Yeah.
In fact, John comes out of the pits right in front of Who was that? Oh, that was Petrol Ed, who is still a lap or two down.
Yeah, the two new recruits, or the newest recruits that I'm aware of to ERS are Bad Guy, Caligula, and Chrometics. And they're both quite good, so.
Yeah, Caligula is quite quick.
Hmm.
Strange three words to say, but okay. The internet, right?
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting watching this is having the Mazda and the Tomahawk out on the track. I'm just not used to watching them. Okay, Belvica served their penalty, so
Hmm.
that was good.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
great
used to
though, isn't it?
watching
Because they're
them.
really cool looking cars.
Yeah, they're cool cars, but I'm not used to watching them out there with LMP cars, right? Like it doesn't. They don't look like
Yeah.
they belong on the same track together because it's just weird. I know that, and this is not a shameless plug, but it may sound like it. So, RWB actually, just personally, not with the rest of the world, right? Just in our own league, are doing this kind of 2.4 hour of Le Mans endurance with,
Oh yeah.
but I think our guy who's designing it is, RWB V Francisco, and, it's like the 24-hour Le Mans 2030 edition or something like that, where and it's all of the like the Vision GT cars like these,
Oh, I get it. Like
and stuff like that. So
hypercars.
it looks like a
Yeah.
futuristic 24-hour of Le Mans instead of LMP
Oh, I
Yeah.
cars.
see. I see.
Yeah, and I think
Once
it's
the
multi-class also, but it's not
once
open to the
the
general
hypercar
public. But
format has once the hypercar format will inevitably get regulated into a sort of homogeneity,
uh-huh.
then it'll look like LMP but like in the future.
Yeah, and I think that's what he was going for is like I'm looking at Renegades, right? And that's like a nice LMP prototype car, right? And
Yep.
they're all cool looking, so space age, but then you go look at Tomahawks and, and stuff in the Mazdas, and you're like, wow, those things are so like space
I
age
kind of
looking, right?
disagree
And
with you. I don't think that modern LMPs actually look good. I think they look weird and bubbly. I like the ones like around the era of like the Bentley Speed Six.
oh, the
They look
ones that look more
really
like a
sweet.
wedge, like the flat, square edged cars, like the old
Yeah,
Porsches and
the
stuff. Yeah.
ones that didn't look like they had the aerodynamic properties of bricks.
It's funny because they technically have better aerodynamics now, even though they don't look like it. It's weird how that sort of thing works.
You would think like those
I
big
know.
square headlight buckets would be
Well,
like super drag, but they make up for it elsewhere.
yeah, it's
Yep.
the reason it's an illusion because the previous cars directed the air over the wheels. These direct the cars to the side of the wheels, so it makes them look very different. But
Hmm.
the costs and match the benefits fairly well.
See, Chromadex is coming up to about to pass Outlaw here, so let's see how he performs this maneuver. I'm riding on board with him, and Outlaw leaves the spot open. He saw him coming,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
back to his
He
racing
didn't
line he
have to
goes.
pull aside, but it's kind of you don't lose too much by taking that turn wide as he did.
Now, Bill Blatter's Corvette is in the pits getting fuel and probably tires. I like the livery on that.
Say
That's
Bill
all flat
Blatter.
black. It looks nice.
Yeah, I
Some of the
think it's
VGTs, the reason that they look so different is not only are they not regulated in any way whatsoever, but a couple of them use Venturi effect, which isn't allowed for race cars in real life. So that's where you're using the bottom side of the car to sort of help it hug to the road instead of
talking
using.
about like ground effect diffusers here.
Yeah, exactly. I know, for instance, the Hyundai, which isn't out here today, has a lot of ground effects sort of stuff on it, which is why it doesn't have a wing in the back.
Well, let's see. Let's just take a look running down the board. So in first in our Group 1, I guess you're calling it, right? Is that what you're calling this section, the Group 1 section? That's what I've been calling them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
basically. Group 1. So Stinky's out, got a 47-second gap to John, who has got a 60-second gap to Belvica, who has a 30-second gap to Lave. But Lave only has about a 4-second gap to J-Rod. So J-Rod's dealing
Yeah.
with some
I think it
traffic to.
was. Uh, so John's just managed to lap, but he did eventually move kind of partly onto the grass in order to allow the lapping driver to get by. It's kind of tricky when you've got Group 1 cars lapping each other because it's much lower speed differential.
Oh
Which
yeah.
means that one of them actually has to consciously get out of the way of the other.
I think I heard out of the corner of my ear that you guys are talking about how even the speed differential between the LMPs and the Group 3s here are much different than it was in the Audi multi-class race.
Oh, by far, yes. I mean, it's these cars are taking a little longer to make a move on these Group 3 cars than the Group 4 cars because those Group 3 cars have all that aero and downforce, so they can actually go a lot quicker through the corners than a Group 4 car can, right? And so these guys aren't able to just
Yeah.
move around them at leisure like they could with the Group 4 cars. So they're definitely
Yeah.
planning their moves a little further ahead before they dive in there.
Mhm.
I'll
I
tell you
don't
that
know if you
Tomahawk.
guys saw, but I had a couple of incidents where I had to literally wait behind the cars before I could actually make a move
Oh
because it
yeah,
was in the middle of the S's or something like that.
that's one of the things about the multi-class racing is that the faster cars are chasing each other down, and then all of a
Whoa,
sudden
okay.
there's these little tiny cars in the way they got to get around, and that adds seconds to their time. What'd
C.
you
John
see?
Getting
just
a little
tried to
crazy
make a
around where
move
the live is.
on Lav, and then,
Here, I'll go
but
do a replay on it and see what happens.
I gotta remember who was in the middle of that. I think it was, yeah, it was Shoots. Shoots was in the middle of that. So
Yep,
Vlad was
I'm
trying
doing
to
a
make a
replay
move on
right now of
Shoots.
it. Now, John
Yeah.
got. Oh my gosh, yes, he is all over them. That was close. He got a penalty for that, so he served it to get it out of the way. Into the
There's
big
such a
banky
speed
boy.
differential between this Audi and the other Group 1 cars out there today that it's almost like watching a 3-class battle.
It is, right? I was
Yeah.
wondering that myself. I'm like, those Audis are just so much faster than the rest of the cars, it seems.
Hmm.
And they kind of look like they don't deserve it, just from how the cars look.
Yeah.
Well, they look wider, like they've got a wider wheelbase than the LMP cars. Oh, John almost loses it. And it just seems like they have. We were talking about this in the first during the first stint of how John is glitching all over the track. We were talking about how like the Beetle used to be a super OP car, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, John isn't glitching as far as I'm concerned. I think that's just because he's in Greece, I'm in England, so I've got a much better connection to him.
Yeah, he's
That
not
makes
glitching
sense.
for me either. So.
I've seen a bit of glitchy stuff from an American. Oh wait, no, you're quite right. Actually, I'm getting similar things from John now that I haven't seen from him before. I hope this doesn't mean that he's at risk of a disconnection.
Let's hope not.
I don't think so, because you're sort of glitching for me too, so I think it might be partially you. Which would be a good thing for John.
Yes, it would be a good thing for John. If the stream dies, fine. But if the race continues, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I have no idea what to compare this Audi to. I've been thinking about it for a while because it looks like, you know what it looks like to me? It looks like if the stylistic ideas of the 90s DTM cars were let to go without any sort of modification to today. Maybe that's what it kind of looks like.
You mean like those sort of concept car drawings where they got massive wheels and 1 millimeter
Petrol's in
ground
the
clearance
pits.
and all that?
Yeah, but it's like it looks like a touring car, like a touring car prototype is what it looks like to me because it doesn't look like an actual prototype. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It's just a strange car, and I am not ashamed to admit that I actually really like the way it looks.
Now look at this. CSX is
Petrolhead
up
has
front
gone
still.
for a full tank, and have you noticed that he's using medium tyres?
Who is?
Huh.
So Petrolhead
Oh, he is.
is using medium tyres and going for 18 lap long stints. So that's kind of interesting.
Well, I haven't
He
noticed
certainly did wear out those tyres as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm looking at his gap. He's still 6 minutes behind the leader.
Yeah.
I don't remember, to be honest, what his gap was before. Like if he's losing time on those medium tires, or
Well,
if
put
he's
it
gaining
this
time.
way: he's overtaken all of the Group 3 cars, so that's good, right?
Yeah, he did that a while ago. I believe so.
Yeah, I mean overall. Right
Let's see,
on.
Vlad just came out of the pits on tires.
Yeah.
Chromadex is right there. Oh,
Yeah.
Chromadex checked up, wisely so. So
Was this
interesting
Vlad's
is
first pit stop? I think it was.
so uh, Bill Blatter, who is racing for CSX.
He did it again.
Well, he's Corvette racing, whatever. The CSX top hat is his teammate, so he's driving that.
I think the
His,
reason that you're getting confused is because it used to be CSX, and then they changed it last minute because Wise Guy wasn't able to race.
oh well, in the
So
race it said CSX top hat, so I just assumed that's what it was. So I guess
yeah,
I'm
because that's
okay.
his account.
All right. So anyway, Bill Blatter is still running out front. He got a 23-second gap over Schutz, who's on that Delmar Esports, right? He was racing with PX7 Optimal. So together as the teammates in the Aston Martin, and the that gap, it's not changing much to Bill Blatter. I mean, it's if anything, it's increasing, but.
And Chromedix.
Something about Chromedix. He's really low on fuel, so he's probably going to pit really soon.
He's going to come in, yeah. Chris, why do you keep calling him Bill Bladder?
I don't know, because I can't see. Bill Batter? Bill Batter?
B-A-D-E-R.
Oh, Bill Batter. Okay. Sorry.
It's Bill Bader, actually.
Bill Bader. Okay, sorry. I'm old, right? I'm like 50 years old. I don't.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you a funny story about that. Actually, so there's this one driver from Hungary that has gone to live events, and his name is Benjamin Botter, and we always made fun of Bill because we were trying to say like he went to the event under his Hungary account. But that's not him. It's just somebody who happens to have the same last name, but it's pronounced differently.
That's funny. That's funny.
So we just call him Benjamin Bader, just to tease him. Oh, he's letting him go.
Hungaroring in GT Sport.
VLX then. Griffin's about to be overtaken by Belvica, and he does. It was clean right through the final turn. Now,
I forget which update it was, but I remember, speaking of that, Nick, I remember when people were saying, oh, the next track's going to be Hungaroring, it's going to be Hungaroring. And everyone was just going crazy about that, and then it turned out to be, I think it turned out to be like Goodwood, which is like a totally different sort of track.
The track that's only just about tolerable with Group 4 cars, but all minis, and everything else is a no-go.
Well, the one race that we put together at Goodwood kind of tells you that it's not tolerable at all. If you remember correctly, everyone crashed at turn
I
2.
remember perfectly well what happened. I thought it was funny as hell.
Oh crap, my replay's broken. Hold on, let me get back in there. There we go. I'm
I
gonna
think you
go
could
on board
with
with
go-karts.
these guys. I wanted to go on board with this guy. Let me see if I can get in the cockpit of this Beetle. There we go. I love the inside of this, like the dashboard and the speedometer and everything. It's just cool looking. The
What, the
big
Beetle?
if you've ever been inside that thing, it's got the LED dashes that are all just like uh
hmm
the
Oh, this is the girliest car I've ever seen.
It looks
It's got
super. It
scaffolding
looks
in.
super like retro, like what the '50s would think the future is.
Yep. It's awesome though.
Mm,
Oh, I shouldn't be looking at him. Commentator's curse. He's getting. Oh, he sees a
Yeah, yeah,
fast car
yeah.
coming up
Getting
behind him.
nervous.
whee!
Well, hopefully he's not watching the stream because I don't. Okay, I got to get off this car. I don't want commentator's curse on the guy. He's my boss. I can't do that.
Oh no, Diogo went off. He caught a little bit of the sand coming through the exit
Who
of
did?
the airbin. Diogo.
Who the heck is Diogo?
Oh, sorry, I mean Cool.
Okay. I was like,
I'm not looking at their
wrong
names.
stint.
I'm looking
Wrong
at their.
stint.
Yeah, sorry.
I went through every car. I was like, I'm missing this car somehow.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm looking at the back of the car and I saw Diogo on it. That's the reason why I said that, because I'm not looking at their names, like on
Gotcha.
the actual timing. I think they have quite a recognizable livery sort of thing going on, where it's red with the white stripe and the yellow sort of trim.
I said something about their car livery previously that was simultaneously flattering and insulting.
What did you say? Oh my
Which
gosh.
one was it?
Yeah, the red and white car. I said that it looks
Oh, the
ugly
DOS
enough
cool.
to
Yes.
look like a real, authentic racing car.
Oh,
I think you said it was like dull and boring. I think were the words that you used, but I'd have to
No,
go back and.
I did not say dull and
Just-
boring. I said that, like most real, motorsports livery, it's kind of ugly, which makes it look exactly true to life.
Whoa!
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh.
Did you see that pass just there? Holy crap!
which cars? Which
Oh,
cars?
I was watching Das Cool while we were talking about him, and I think it was so fast I didn't even catch who it was that went around him. It looks like it's the Tomahawk, I think.
Yeah.
Just flew by him through the corner. So I was like, how is he gonna make it through there? That's insane.
Nice.
Nick, I think you're going to have to apologize to the Supreme Racing Technology team for the slanderous things you said about their liveries. Oh, he went off.
Of course.
He did the same thing I did twice. He
As soon
caught
as
the
I
grass.
looked away, did he spin or just?
No, he caught the grass and then
okay.
slid off and hit the wall and recovered. Lost maybe like 3
No,
seconds.
I think I'm going to let the Supreme Racing Technology team sue me, and then they can enjoy the Barbara Streisand effect of my comments.
Call. Anyway,
What are they going to sue you for anyways? You don't have any money.
So Stinky's up here about to put another one of the GR1 cars left on the Renegade car. This car is just so much better than these LMP cars.
Whoa! Look at that!
Wow, that was wide.
A normal car would have spun off from that, but the combination of a brilliant car and brilliant driving, he managed to save it. It was like a crazy flick off to the left, and then back on the course.
I am curious, Nemesis, if you put these AMS guys in LMP cars, if that gap would be as big.
John's gone off.
I did not put them in anything. They chose their own cars.
Yeah, this car is just so much faster than these LMP cars. Like, At least from what I'm experiencing on the track. Now, it may just be these drivers. Like maybe they would do the exact same
The
thing
drivers are
in the
very
Toyota
good.
hybrid that they're doing in this car.
I suspect that their increase in pace is a combination of three things: their tune, their car, and their driving skill.
Yeah.
And I think they all have like an equal play in how fast they are. I don't think like one's particularly more important than the other. But
I think that a good driver will get the best out of a worse car, but if the tune is wrong, so much so that a bad tune can make a car undrivable, right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering is if you put them in the LMP cars, would that gap be so big? Like, would it be that big of a difference? You know what I mean?
I've seen. Okay, so going back with Dude, I've raced with Dude before for years now, and I know that he's really, really good with his TSO 50 tune to the point that I might argue for the case that the gap would still be this big.
Okay.
Well, I think it might be slightly smaller. Let's give him some credit for doing the research and picking the best car
Yes.
for the job, in his
Yeah.
opinion.
I would have not, like me, just knowing what I know about cars without doing any sort of like inside research, I would have never guessed that the Audi VGT would be the car to pick.
Speaking of cars to pick, so you know what? That was forget it. That was the worst transition ever. I was trying to figure out how to make it work.
What a segue! Oh my goodness.
The segue was terrible. So let me just start this over. I went back to P8, which is P1 for the GR3 car. So Bill Bader just put the Outlaw a lap down, or either one or more. I don't know how many laps down. Oh, you know what? I think. Well, he just pit 2 laps ago, so it's possible that Outlaw had unlapped himself one, and now he's just passing him again.
Why is he flashing his lights?
I don't know. He's got his hazards on. Because he knows I'm watching, maybe.
Getting nervous. Oh my goodness.
I'm looking away. We're not looking at you anymore. But he still has his hazards on.
Yeah, I think that might be an accident.
Inadvertent. Schutz has basically lost time to Bill Batter. So, I'm saying that right? Bill Batter?
It's Bill Bader.
Bader! Gosh darn it! Okay, I thought I had it right. Okay, Bill Bader, he seems to be just increasing his gap by, little bits here and there. There's definitely not anything being gained by Schutz that I can tell.
Just remember it like this, Chris. Darth Bader's brother, Bill.
Yes. I just think of it as Bill Bader being related to Darth Vader.
Or Bader Ginsburg, whatever her name is. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Never mind, I won't. I'm done. I think I got it now, guys. I don't think I'm going to say it wrong anymore. Shoots in the pits. Fuel, new tires. He didn't take a full tank, so he's assuming he's going to make it to the end of the race, is my guess. On fuel.
Have you guys talked about the liveries yet?
I mean, we've been watching them, but not like discussing them particularly. Like we like how pretty they are.
The peacockness of the AMS team has certainly been commented upon.
Yes.
Yes.
Very fancy.
We did talk about the VLX cars. Which side was better, the blue side or the black side?
Yeah, he likes the black side. I prefer the blue side of this particular design.
I'm going to be the centrist here and say that both sides are important to the overall livery.
Oh, you
yes,
poxy fence sitter. You like the green wing more than anything else, don't you?
Yeah, that does stand out, doesn't it?
I think it's interesting. I don't think it detracts from the livery in any way, but I think it would be better with a black one.
So you do think it detracts in some way?
Well,
I do like Das Cool's livery. That BMW's got kind of I like the livery of it. But I will tell you, that the RWB livery that Outlaws driving, the Stars and the Stripes and
Oh,
everything. He
come off
actually
it.
he actually built the liveries for the both cars for RWB
Okay.
racing.
Hmm.
Okay. I
But I
thought
like
there
the
was going
Stars
to
and the
be like
Stripes.
some kind of an outpouring of adoration for some unspecified reason.
It's
Hey,
almost like he's on RWB. Hmm.
almost. It's like you might
Yes.
know. But I will say I'm
I
gonna go back to Stinky's ride because that color scheme is just awesome. I think that's the changing paint color, right? That he's got on there. The what
some
is it
sort
called?
of blue
Yeah, I think
purple.
that's the
Yeah.
base. I think that's the base. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, a
Look,
blue
he's
purple
about to
one.
put J Rod lap down. Look how big that car is compared to the LMPs and wide it is, right? It
Thick,
looks like it's
thick
about to
boy.
eat the other car. Like it's get out of my way, I'm gonna
Yeah.
chomp on you. It's like it's got to be almost a foot wider than the other cars. No wonder it
You
turns.
know, now that I'm looking at this car and really just like in my tired state after doing an hour of racing, I'm beginning to think of the Audi as looking like a hamburger from this angle from the back, which is like totally yes. Just look at it for a second. You see that black thing in the middle? That's the
Yeah,
burger
that's
itself.
a
Oh,
severely burned
let
hamburger.
me get on his car and look at it from the review.
Hmm.
Um,
And then the brake lights is the tomato.
The dashboard is distractingly weird in this car.
oh, let's take a look inside the car. Oh
It's
yeah. Oh, and
Wow.
very
it's got the
sort of
F1 style
the
wheel.
seating is very high. Look how
It's got
high
really
the
shiny
driver sits.
dashboard.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I expect that if
Whoa,
this,
that's
after the
glitchy.
race, the marshals are going to find enormous subwoofers in the back.
Well, what's interesting is in a lot of the cars, if you're in cockpit mode and you look backwards,
Yeah.
you see the inside of the car somewhat, right? Look backwards from this car.
Sometimes,
It's a bumper
yeah,
cam. That's
yeah,
all it is.
yes, it is.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, that's
Oh, that's because
there's,
there's no rear window.
yeah, that's what I
That
was
makes
going to
sense.
say.
There's not any rear glass, so it's just the camera mounted in the back of the car.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
The inside of the LM55 seems quite cozy. It almost feels like it's inside the ground rather than on top of it. It's so low.
Now
Oh,
the
yeah.
LM55 does
It's a
look
lot like
interesting.
It's quite similar to the Tomahawk in that regard.
Hmm.
You could confuse one from the other if been a little bit out of.
Oh, and it's got. Oh, we almost went off the track. Got the heads-up display on the windscreen. That's cool.
Yeah.
I really like the interior of the Tomahawk actually because it's center seat and it's got
Yep.
the three things.
The mirrors.
Camera ball.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Jeez! Holy crap! That was
I hope he was planning on making a pit stop.
because he just got pushed in there, didn't he?
Oh
See,
man.
you know what? You could totally drive this car in cockpit mode with no problem with all that mirror that you have.
Yeah. Whereas the LMP cars, they get like this little window box, this little
Yep.
letterbox thing with which to. You get these massive blind only diagram of the Bahrain circuit.
Hmm. And we don't even have that
Helpful.
circuit in the game.
Mm,
Do you think the lower class drivers would be upset at being bumped forward like that? Or do you think they would think of it as being a courtesy?
not if you're trying to make a pit stop or.
That's
trying to go
true,
around
that's
the
true.
corner.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you're trying to turn or go somewhere specific. If you're on the straights and one of these cars
I
comes up
just
behind
saw
you
a
and decides to
lovely
push you,
pass
that's nice.
I just saw a lovely pass of what's is it Petrol Head? No, not Petrol Head. Chromedix passing Passing, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just thought I'd comment on it because it was so clean.
I like how you say that as if it's a rare thing, which unfortunately it actually is a rare thing.
This race is long. We've been going now for. Oh, I gotta wait for it to update. Hold on. I'll tell you how long we've been on. We've been streaming for 3
It's
hours and
about
32 minutes.
8 p.m.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're almost at the end of this race. We're
Almost.
almost at the end.
9 laps to go. Now, why is there 41 laps on this? Oh, because of the out lap? The formation lap?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
That makes
that's
sense.
correct.
Okay, I'm going to go give some love to our Group 3 car. So let's see, we got Bill Bader. See? Got it. In the Corvette.
Very good. He's about to lap. Outlaw, is he? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Outlaw had gone into the pit. And so it's just, he's relapping him from the last time.
Bill, yes, that's right, yes. Bill's just come, of course, yes.
And there's shoots. And he scores.
Imagine the humiliation of being lapped and then being lapped again shortly after by the same guy.
Well, this will be the third time because of the way their pit strategies have worked out, where,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they're not on the same lap as each other either.
Yeah.
And then there's
I've got to
Griffin.
say, at least it could have been slightly worse. I mean, imagine if instead of packing an RWB livery, Outlaw had been using one of those, the very common and easily available Kinder Surprise VW livery.
Yeah.
One. Looks kind of similar from the front, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. It's really hard to make a livery for that Beetle, I'm going to be honest. I've been trying to make like a team livery for it, and I find it incredibly difficult because my team's livery is used to, or is designed to handle cars that don't have a big, flat side to the car.
Right.
I could probably do it. I'd just plaster a giant R symbol on the side and call it a day.
Yeah. You mean like 99% of the Discovery page liveries?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Where is J-Rod? There he is. See, that one is the same kind of design. J-Rod just got...
You shouldn't have looked at him. You should not have looked at him.
I didn't know. Dang it.
It's all your fault.
He was
Commentator's curse.
He was catching up to Chromadex too.
Dude, this is your teammate of all people to do this to.
J-Rod, I'm sorry, brother. If you're watching the stream, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
If he's watching the stream, Chris, then the reason he crashed is because he wasn't paying attention to his own driving.
He doesn't watch it, but he listens right to what's going on. Sometimes I don't know.
Same deal then.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I was listening to the stream too, but I was only doing so in like the background.
It doesn't really look like we have any battles on the track for position. I'm just kind of going one car at a time about every 5 seconds or so.
Okay.
Just to see. If you guys want to look around.
There's a lapping happening. Oh, that's it. That's the moment of excitement over. I'm okay to say such things because it's a test event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think functionally the format works. I think the drivers may be very happy with it. Let's ask them afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
From a watching perspective, we got good action in the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the second one so far, it's only been exciting lapping moments.
Yeah, it's a lot more boring the second stint because everyone's was so gapped out already. Where the beginning we got to watch all of the battles. Like we watched what who it was. It was CSX, VLX, and who was the other car
There,
that was up there? There were three car. Optimal. The three of them were like
yeah.
you could throw a blanket over them, and they were just it was just constant back and forth. It was really fun to watch those guys
I
battling it
mean, to be
out.
honest, I don't actually own any blankets as big as that. But point taken.
I mean, you don't need a big blanket to put over those three from that race. That was pretty
Yeah.
close.
I don't
Yeah.
have one big enough to cover that VW.
Okay.
Cars are
Hey,
quite big.
hey. If you looked at it on the TV, it's you have a blanket big enough.
Yeah.
Okay, a napkin.
that's
Yeah,
true.
I have a blanket big enough to cover the TV. What's your point?
Anyway,
Oh.
it was fun to watch. Now it's just everyone's going through and completing the race, and I think what's going to happen is the drivers are going to want to switch stints.
Well, hang on.
Every
There
other
is-
race.
Now look, there is one important battle going on, and that's the one between Blythe and Chromedix.
It's between who?
That's one thing. Yeah, Blythe and Chromedix. There's 3 seconds behind those guys. They haven't really made up or lost any particular amount of time between them, but technically it is still close enough to consider it a battle.
That's true. It's only 3
That's
seconds.
true.
Right.
Yeah, they can see each
Also
other on the
now,
track.
Only 7.5 seconds between Chromedix and J-Rod. But, of course, yeah, they're even on similar strategies now. So, yeah, coming to the closing stages of this race, although the early part of the stage has been sort of uneventful, I think we're coming to see some kind of interesting closure.
That's true. He's already down to
let's see how it
2.4
goes.
seconds now. Wasn't one of those guys on the medium tires? Was it Flave that's on the medium? No.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
Petrol.
No, that was
It
Petrol, yeah.
Petrol
Yeah.
head. He's still on medium tyres, and he's still so far behind that it doesn't actually calculate the lap time.
So we had to make another stint gap calculations that would not be very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably
Well,
in the
you'd have
lap
to
timer.
count,
If you look at
wouldn't
the
you?
lap timer, it probably is in there, maybe. But
Yeah.
still, Chromadex and Vlad and J-Rod are all still 3 minutes, nearly 2 laps behind the
Yeah.
lead
I'd like
car.
to say that I'm again, you know, I'm biased directly in opposition to you, Chris, but I'm quite impressed at how Blythe has done in comparison to J-Bod and Petrolhead, particularly in the second stint. Now, I don't know if Chromedix is going to pass him. He is getting closer, but catching up is one thing. Passing is something rather different.
Well, if you look
Based on my-
at the tires, you know, Chromadex has
Yes.
the tires.
Yeah, a little bit, but he's also hang on, which one of them? Yeah, he's also going to run out of fuel earlier.
I don't think it will be much of a debate whether or not he'll be able to pass him coming up here soon.
Yep, I'm riding on board with Chromadex now. He's got it down to 8/10. He was a little closer actually in the first at the end of the last sector, but he should be.
It's
able
funny
to-
because-
He's definitely.
It's
So
funny because
he's now
Blythe
within-
actually loses a lot of time to him in the corners, but then his hybrid kicks him out
Yep.
like maybe half
Yeah.
a second ahead.
Yeah, Chromedix is actually coping with the slipstream really well through the S's.
They got a little traffic
Oh,
to get
yeah,
by.
here it is.
There it is. There's the move.
Oh, that was fantastic! I
That
hope
was
you guys got
quite the
that
move.
on camera.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah, that was a smooth move. He used that lap traffic to his advantage too, because
Yeah.
Vlad had to
Oh,
manage
Blade's gonna
around
try
that
to make a
corner.
move back.
He is.
Yeah,
I'm on board with Flav now, watching this. This is the battle right here. It's the only thing we got going on today, folks. Hope you're enjoying the show. I'm kidding.
Why are you kidding? Why are you kidding? That's not cool, man.
Bahrain's GP circuit has got 14 corners.
Yes.
Okay, so who's pitting? Nobody yet. Chromadex still has a couple laps left. Vlad's probably got an additional lap left he can run. So this will be interesting to see what happens here. Does Vlad stay out when Chromadex goes in? He shouldn't because he needs the tires.
I don't think anybody's going to be going in considering where we are on the lap counter.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Oh yeah, I just realized that. Okay.
Quite
See, that's the thing. I
interesting.
keep losing. I go to the GR3 cars and I see how many laps are left, and I don't look again to see how many laps left for these guys.
In fact, Stinky's going to start his final lap very soon.
Oh, wait a minute. You're right. He's on lap 40 because he's couple laps ahead of those guys. Oh my
Yep.
goodness.
Life has got stuck
I think
behind
that
Bill for a critical moment.
I think that Apex just barely managed to pull off a win here today.
Barely.
Just barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, by a minute and 15
Well, look,
seconds.
they're so
You
far
guys-
behind. They look like they're ahead of everybody.
You guys didn't catch it, but oh, that just happened again. Okay, Vlive first had his chance to catch Chromedix hampered by Bill, and then completely destroyed by trying to overtake
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess now you really have a reason
It's
to
fun.
dislike Supreme Racing technology, don't you, Nick?
I like them fine.
I know, I'm kidding.
All right, so we got Stinky up front, and P2 is
Who's-
John. P3 is
Duskull's pissing, but only
Belvica.
'cause
John
he's
is
got
about
no choice.
putting people down. Belvica
Bashing
in
cash.
third. Chromadex fourth. They're on the final laps now as we're coming around. There's Vlave in fifth with J-Rod in sixth and Petrol in seventh. That rounds out the Group 1 cars. And then Stinky's on his final lap. He's about 4 corners away from victory. So let's show him the love as he comes across the start finish.
Indeed. For both
Let's see if he
Stinky
does anything
and Bill.
crazy before he. Oh yeah, he put on his hazards. He's letting us know that he won the race.
Flashing
Yeah,
his lights.
so he
Good
has.
job.
Fantastic.
Yeah, all right.
Well
Now
done
John is
to
nearly
Stinky
all the
and
way.
Dude.
He's a minute behind him, so he'll be
AMS
able to
team
finish.
has well and truly risen again from the ashes of its once upon a time collapse.
Yep. And Bill Bader is going to take first place for the Group 3 cars.
Yep.
Yep.
What an interesting multi-class race this was. It was long and arduous. If the guys had to do the whole 2 hours all on their own, it would have been a very interesting race. But adding the second stint and changing drivers adds a whole nother element, to it. As
Yeah,
Bill comes
especially
around for
in the
his final
midfield.
turn.
Especially in the midfield.
Yep.
I think that Blythe has done a much better job than Embar, combined with J-Bod not doing quite so well as Venom. Was it? No, not Venom. Sorry.
Here comes John across for P2.
John and they both almost crossed the line at the same time.
Yep. And Belvica is coming across for the third position.
How come Bill
That'll
is
do
holding
it.
on to a penalty?
I think he got a
Just
penalty for the
made it
last
up
turn,
in
but I'll
time,
take a look for it.
Okay.
So Schutz comes
now I've
across
always seen
in
him
ninth,
paired off
and that's all of it.
properly, so.
Very
8 laps.
interesting. So congratulations, man. The guys in those freaking cars, man. Holy crap, those Audi VGTs. They just dominated today. That's crazy.
Yep.
Well, awesome. That was the race. Good job.
Yeah,
That
it
was
seemed to work.
quite a race, yes.
All right. Well,
Then,
thanks for the opportunity to stream it with you guys, Nick, and uh, I don't even know your real name, so I'm just calling you
Nate,
Nate.
there
Okay.
we go.
yes.
What
I
do
don't
you
go
think
by that
about
for obvious
the?
reasons.
Yeah.
What do you think about the format? How well do you think it matched your expectations?
Who, me or him?
Yes, you.
Me, okay. I think it was quite good, but I think that it was a good observation that the second stint wasn't as exciting as the first stint. I'm trying to figure out how that would be done without removing the idea of the drivers taking over for their teammates from where they left
Yeah.
off.
Have we got anyone in the live stream audience and like their opinion of how it went? If anyone's
You know what? I haven't been watching the social media side of that. Let's take a look here and see if there's anything in the live stream on Facebook and see what they have to say.
it was live streamed on Facebook. I thought it was on YouTube.
It's on both.
The idea
Okay.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here in here. Let's see. Great work. Is it 10-second penalty to try to come up with a better deterrent for these sorts of things?
I did not get to save the replay.
Oh, me neither. Because the host ended it.
Stinky! I didn't either. That could be a
Well, we have
problem.
the stream, and I didn't see any sort of penalty issues throughout the race except for the last thing with. The only thing that caught my eye was the last thing with Belvica.
Wait a minute. What about that thing where that VLX?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the
Holding onto
YouTube chat, guys.
The
There's like 10 people in
John, yeah, John also held on to
oh
it.
there.
yeah,
There it is.
but
Mbot
his
and
team
Dude are
already.
invisible to each other, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, that team already had a 10-second penalty carried from the previous thing for
Yeah, I know.
that sort of violation. So
Oh, you mean that if you rack up one 10-second penalty, you can do it again and again as often as you like?
at least according to the way the regulations are written right now, but that can be something
Really?
that we can look at.
I
Yes.
was under the impression the regulations weren't one penalty for any number of shortcuts.
Well, that might be an interpretive issue, and we might have to be more specific in the regulations then, because that's how it's been enforced. So we'll have to look at that.
Okey-dokey. Well, no wonder people are violating it then.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it
if it
does
was
say,
for every single incident, then that would rack up to something like, as far as
Okay,
I
give
can
me
tell,
Give me a what do you call it? Yeah, prod me into updating the common ESGT rulebook sometime, but not right now because it's just coming up to midnight and I'd like to wind down.
no, I'm gonna give you something to do right now at midnight, and you're gonna do it right. No, I'm not gonna do that to you.
hey, just a piece of advice that came up in the YouTube stream is that
Yes.
that it said Heathfield's mic is too low.
Yeah,
So
I thought
they're hearing the two of us really well, but yours is much lower. So you probably have to increase the
I
gain
can't.
on your
It's
microphone for the next
it's like,
one.
hang on, let me just check on the.
But I should probably turn off
PlayStation
the
settings.
stream now and let everybody go about their business. So everyone say goodbye to the world as you know it. Goodbye, world.
We started the stream
I can-
without a Lago
whoa.
Maggiore race,
Okay,
and we
I
ended
can-
it with a Lago Maggiore race. So the world is inevitably changed forever.